up, everybody? Welcome back to the 50/50 podcast. This is your boy Illiest Demeanor, and we got two special guests today. My wife, Tayler Jones, and my homeboy, Archie. And I also got my co-host.
What's y'all? What's up? Today is going to be June 4th, 2023. This is going to be episode number 6.
Six,
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Episode number 6. Finally got one video, over 100 views. Sean over here being stingy with the drink. Got an episode, over 100 views. I just want to say thank y'all to everybody. Like I said, it may not mean much to like anyone else, but that's crazy. Like to think we actually did that.
Yeah, because our other podcast is what?
Bro,
20,
the first one was 30. Yeah, and then we started getting like 70-ish. Finally got up over 100 on the episode featuring Marcus. So
yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yes, and we'll definitely have Marcus back on pretty soon. We did have an episode planned today with a few different guests, and we was going to take a deep dive into religion.
Yes.
And we were going to go back and forth basically about why, how you believe, the way we would believe, and also the way people treat the Bible.
Okay.
And by that I mean the way they take what they like and they don't even talk about the bad. And I know I've sent you this website, and now granted I will admit it is called Evil Bible, but all it is it's highlighting all the evil, bad, hatred in the Bible that people like to overlook. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. What do you got?
All right. So just like my co-host Wes said, there's this website called the Evil Bible. He sent me this last night. This morning, I got a chance to actually look at it and read it into depth. And I got a lot of questions about this.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I didn't know what to believe. It got to a point to where I didn't want to read it anymore. Like, my head started hurting, and I was like, this...
Just because it's like so depressing, or just...
I wouldn't necessarily say depressing, but I don't want to believe it. Like,
Okay.
I was like, how could this be in the Bible?
And what they consider the good book.
Yeah, because God, he's supposed to be, all loving, all caring, and when you're going through stuff, you pray to him. And when I got through and I was reading it, I clicked on the website, and the first thing that it said is it says, this website was designed to spread the truth about the vicious Bible. So right there, vicious, I was like, okay, vicious.
Yeah.
What do they mean, vicious?
Yeah.
It's the Bible. It can't be vicious.
And that's not a word you usually hear describing the Bible.
Right. So then it says, the preachers have ignored all the vicious criminal acts that the Bible promotes. So then again, I'm like, vicious acts, criminal acts.
Like what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't it all about like love and peace and?
Yeah. So my mind already started like the wheels started turning in my mind. So it says, one of God's 10 commandments is thou shalt not kill.
Yeah.
As I kept reading, it said God kills 7,000 innocent people because David ordered a census of the people. So I wanna get into that.
Okay.
Like,
bro,
thou shalt not kill.
If you want to be
then he
real,
kills 70,000
he kills the whole
people.
world with the flood of Noah.
Okay. So
like, and the comeback with that is always people say, well, the people were sinning. Well, if we were created in God's image, and God is all loving and all knowing, of course he knows we're going to sin. Like they go back to Adam and Eve, like they didn't know what sin was until, they ate the apple. It's the story. Like sin wasn't a thing, disease wasn't a thing, shit like that. But if God knew all this ahead of time, how did he not know we would sin? And if he did know we would sin, why would you flood the world to like wipe everybody out? And you got this dude building a boat to get 2 of every animal. I mean, think about how like crazy that is. You telling me 2 penguins walked from Antarctica all the way to like the Middle East to get on this boat? Because I mean, Noah, there ain't no transportation, no planes back then.
Right.
Noah's also an alcoholic too. in the Bible. It talks about that. And that's kind of why, like, nobody believed him when he was telling people a flood's coming. I'm going to build this boat. Nobody would take him serious because, you know, he was kind of a degenerate.
Okay.
Man.
So going back to that, so I get all of that, and I actually heard what you just said. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that he was an alcoholic though. I haven't heard that. But see, because there's so much stuff that I guess apparently is being left out.
Mm-hmm.
But this sheds, this sheds the light on it.
Yeah.
So when I read probably about 30 minutes worth of it to a point where I was like, okay, I don't want to read it anymore. But yeah, it says God kills 70,000 innocent people because David ordered a census of the people. So I guess I'm thinking there was too many people in the world. So that's why he was like, okay, we're gonna.
But think about it. So 70,000, right? Mm-hmm. Think about how many people we have on Earth right now. We have 8 billion. Billion. And you're telling me 70,000.
Okay.
Was too much?
And then he's saying, but they saying thou shalt not kill, that's God's commandment.
Right.
Right?
Well, here's another thing about killing. So in the Bible, it does say kill people who don't listen to priests, kill witches, kill homosexuals, kill fortune tellers, death for hitting dad. Whoever strikes his father or mother shall be put to death. Death for cursing parents, like death for adultery, death for fornication, death for followers of other religion. And people, that's one thing that people act like it's not in the Christian Bible. They act like that's only people who follow Islam. They're like, oh man, you can't trust Muslim people because, you know, it says in their Bible that if you're not our religion, we have to kill you. Well, it says it in the Christian Bible. Whoever sacrifices to any god except the Lord alone shall be doomed. So, kill non-believers.
Okay. All right. So that's what I wanted to get into.
This is a list of just who you kill.
Yeah. Okay.
And why.
All right.
It's crazy.
So if they say if you worship any other god, you get killed.
You shall be doomed.
You shall be doomed.
If you don't believe.
Yeah, if you don't believe. Death of cursing your parents. Because it breaks that down. It says if one curses his father or mother, he will be doomed or lambed into the darkness. So that's crazy. And then adultery, because you said that. So it says if a man commits adultery with another man's wife, both the man and the woman must be put to death.
Yes. But think about it, thou shalt not kill.
Yeah.
Now, let me touch on that real quick because I've said it before in the other podcast, but for people who are just now listening and, you know, we're talking about this topic, it is a mistranslation. The 10th commandment is not thou shalt not kill.
Okay.
It is thou shalt not murder, which is illegal killing. You can kill in self-defense and you can like kill an animal for food.
Okay.
But you can't commit murder. But still, it's a contradiction because then you're turning around telling me, well, here's all these reasons that you can't kill.
You can't kill.
And not only like reasons you can kill, but like people you can kill for these reasons. And it's just
why did God make these 10?
Honestly, I don't think God did. Because that's the whole thing. Moses wrote the 10 Commandments on stone. He went up to the mountain and he came back with these 10 Commandments and he was telling people that God told me this. This could be the same thing with people who believe, Mormons? That they believe in a prophet. His name was Joseph Smith. And they said he had a hat. And only he could look in this hat and read the hidden like scripture. Only him. So he would read out this hat and he would have somebody write down what he says. And that was their Bible.
Okay.
And they believed that to be, you know, the word of God. Same thing with this Moses thing, bro. A lot of this could be.
So it's not even really the word of God.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And back in the Bible times, God spoke to people. Like Adam and Eve, he spoke directly to them. So like that makes me wonder, you know, why does he not do that today? And I know people are gonna go, well, I pray and he speaks to me. Let's be for real. Like, we're not talking about like you prayed that something will work out and it worked out and you took that as him speaking to you. No, I'm talking about him being like, yo, Illiest, you should do this or something. It's not like that.
I've heard people say that
that God speaks to them. Right. Same thing with prayer, bro. Like, so from the beginning of time to the end of time, everything has been written. God is supposed to know the beginning and the end of all.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, what do you pray for? Like, let me get your take on that, Archie. What?
So I just want to ask y'all, where's y'all's take on versus religion versus science first?
Okay.
Because
in what topic, or just in general?
Just in general.
In general,
I just watched this recently. I never watched it before, but I don't know if y'all know they have an ark in Kentucky. I'm from there. It's not far from where I grew up.
And it's supposed to be built to spec. Like it's built to the dimensions
of what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, Bill Nye the Science Guy actually went when it first opened and debated the curator for the ark.
Okay.
So I'm kind of looking at it like that. So in the ark, it showed that the flood happened 4,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying there was only 70,000 people on the earth 4,000 years ago?
Right. And now we're up to.
But we also have evidence saying that civilizations are much older.
Yes, I want to touch on that too.
Okay.
Yeah. So the flood, I do believe there is a flood because we have proof of a flood, a catastrophic flood that potentially like wiped out society, and it like not just a society like the Stone Age, possibly like a society that was more advanced than even we are, and people they deny that because they only want to believe we've been here for so long. Before that, like we're the most advanced as far as like knowledge and medicine and whatnot. I don't know if that's true, bro. Look, I say all the time, look at the pyramids.
Yeah.
Not just like the size of the pyramids themselves, but the way they're built. Like all corners face true east, north, west, south. It's the top points to true north, and it's just like I can't remember what it is, but like the dimensions of the pyramid is like the exact amount of like the dimensions around the earth times whatever. Don't quote me on it because I can't really know exactly what it is, but it's just crazy facts that I was reading about the pyramids. So like they had to be way more advanced technology wise than we think or that we give them credit for. Going back to the flood, I do believe a flood did happen, and I believe that's how like stories can get passed down. So like a flood did happen. I'm sure people did live, to tell the story. Well, clearly people live because we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
You know what I mean? So there was somebody somewhere, wherever they lived, they were able to survive. You could take that, and then once you pass that down generation to generation, you could turn that into, well, what happened was God flooded the earth, and there was this man who built this boat, and like that's why we're still here. Like it can just get twisted.
That's the story that I heard.
Yeah.
But going back to that, Bill had told him that there is no evidence saying there was a global flood.
Yeah. Well, and that I don't know what year this was, but there's 100% evidence of a global flood now.
And is that going back to science?
That's going back to science. That's
okay. So there was no evidence that there was a flood at all.
Do you remember when you watched
90% of the entire Earth. That means everything, all land was underwater.
Yeah, see. So then that's where it gets confusing. Because like they're saying that it was, but then science saying that there's no way it could have been.
I mean, I think it's possible if all the ice caps melted, but how would they refreeze?
Right. My take on it is I think we have proof of a great flood because we have like whale bones on the top of mountains.
But the earth also shifts.
Well, I was going to say, yes, that is true. And with it shifting, it does create, when the plates, collide
together.
They do form mountains. That's how mountains are made. But I think, like, you can date the bones and, like, how long it would take for this mountain to be, like, I don't think that's the case. I don't think it was, like, something that was so low and then it rose up, and that's why the whale bones ended up there. Once again, we're probably never know. Going back to science versus religion, because a lot of people don't like to compare the two. Okay, in the Bible, why, when we're talking about God spent so much time making the earth, why does he not touch on the universe?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, so
why don't we even touch on our solar system? Like, I get if you couldn't explain the universe, because think about trying to explain the universe to, anybody really. It's hard to fathom how tiny we are. Like, we're legit not even a speck of dust. Once you zoom out so far, like we're nothing.
Yeah, you can barely even see us.
Like, you can't see us. If you get it to what is called the cosmic web, like they take a telescope and they zoom out from Earth to the Milky Way, zoom out from the Milky Way, then you can get to the like the Andromeda galaxy and all that. Like at that point, bro, if we erased Earth completely, it would change nothing. You wouldn't notice. There wouldn't be there'd be no difference as far as the universe goes. So why would God not touch on like, hey, I made this Earth for y'all, but also like I had to put the sun here for this. There's other planets in the solar system, and like kind of explain that to the people.
So I want to touch on that. So you said God made Earth for us, right? Yeah. So he
created the world
according to the Bible.
According to the Bible. So
he made it powerful. In 7 days. Yeah.
In 7 days. All right. So realistically, facts. There's so much stuff going on where, going back to the Bible, let's go back to that shall not kill. There's so many killings going on.
Yeah.
So why, if he's so powerful, why is he letting all of these killings happen?
Technically, rape. Some of them are justified. Well, rape ain't even a Ten Commandment. I mean, there is thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, but there's nothing about like thou shalt not rape women. Why is that not a Ten Commandment? But we have don't disrespect your parents, and we have don't say God's name with a shitty attitude.
Yeah. So if you do all of that stuff, you're pretty much like,
well, I mean, don't quote me on this,
sin.
Does Jesus and his disciples, do they not lay with whores?
Well, he does Mary Magdalene.
So, I mean,
I don't know, and there is so there's something called the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay. And it's basically more of the Bible that was like left out. And in these Dead Sea Scrolls, they kind of hint at Jesus not only like hanging with Mary Magdalene, but being married to her. Like they get married at one point in time, and possibly even have children.
Okay.
And I think, to be honest with you, bro, so do you know what the Vatican is?
No.
Okay, it's a big church. It's in Rome, ain't it? Okay. So big church, Catholic church, and they have this library underneath the Vatican that just has like everything you could ever think of, but nobody's allowed to go down there. Only certain people are allowed in, and you have to know exactly what you're going in there for, and you can't wander and you can't look around.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I think they know. I'm not saying Jesus wasn't a real person. Let me get that out there first. Jesus could have been a real person. The whole like Messiah thing is debatable, but Jesus could have been a real person. They could have really treated somebody this way. And I think his bloodline is still alive today. And I think they have proof of who could be a direct descendant of Jesus, and they don't want it out there. There's so much locked away in the Vatican, like in the catacombs. It's crazy. And I don't. Why would you have a library that nobody can go in? Like no journalist, you won't allow like the press down there.
Yeah, there's probably something in there they don't want to get out.
Well, I'm sure there's tons of like bad stuff too. Because like I've said about priests molesting children, bro. When they get caught, they don't go to jail most of the time. Most of the time, they get relocated and assigned to another church, and that's the work of the church.
Yeah, because let's touch on this. So it says, men were told to hide alongside the road, and when they saw a girl, they kidnap her, rape her, and make her your wife.
Yeah. And that's in the Bible.
So God told them to do that.
And okay, well, here's the thing. Some of this won't be God talking, because in the Bible, when God actually is talking, I think it's wrote in what, red?
I have no idea.
Okay, so when it's actually God like speaking, it's wrote in a different color.
Okay.
But with this being the book of God, it still makes you wonder, why would God allow that?
That's the whole reason why I'm even bringing any of this up. Like,
so if I see a girl
God's saying like, don't do this.
Yeah.
But then he's saying, but you can only do it because of this.
Mm-hmm.
What are you to believe? Like, if you kill, you're pretty much what would you call it? You're not a Christian.
It depends on who you kill. Because that's the thing. I just listed you a whole thing of people you can kill. You
have to kill in his. You have to kill in his name.
Basically, you have to kill by the rules set by him. So if you kill a non-believer, then you're okay. Now by law, you won't be okay. You'll still go to jail.
But so you can say, I'm a Christian and you're a non-believer, so you gotta die.
I have the right. My God-given right is to kill you. That don't mean I can kill you lawfully, but God-given right and laws are two different things.
That's crazy. So if you rape a woman, you can say, "Oh, I'm raping you in God's name. I raped her in God's name."
Well, technically, it says rape her and marry her. Like, that's how you basically say, you're mine. You raped this woman, and now you're stuck.
Say you're mine.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
All right. And then it said that he was a fan of ritual human sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. And that's not just in, like, the Christian religion. Like, tons of religions are all about sacrificing. Whether it be humans, whether it be livestock, like, a lot of it has to do with sacrificing.
So, I don't remember who it was who took their son to go sacrifice him.
It's it's not Cain and Abel. It's
But in the end,
damn, if you wouldn't have said it, I would have told you too.
I believe he doesn't do it.
Yeah, he doesn't. God says, I was just testing you to see.
But God actually gets mad because he didn't follow his order.
I thought he stopped him at the end and it was like, it's just a test.
So what is it?
So they say he stops him or whatever, but in the Bible or through the religion, it's told that God actually gets mad because he doesn't sacrifice his son for him.
God tells Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac.
Okay.
As Abraham begins to comply, having bound Isaac to the altar, he is stopped by the angel of the Lord. A ram appears and is slaughtered in Isaac's stead, as God commands Abraham. Pious obedience.
And he got mad
because he didn't kill his son.
Well, this says basically he tied him to the thing and was going to kill him in the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
And then an angel of the Lord shows up and has a goat, a ram, and they sacrifice that instead. But think about that. Why would God tell you?
He got mad because they killed the lamb instead of...
I'm not sure if he got mad, but...
So that's from my understanding.
Okay.
If you look back, I just seen this recently. Somebody posted it that, they had different Bibles from different eras. Mm-hmm. So they had them going back to like the 1800s and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they were looking through scriptures and there was parts that were missing as you get progressed through time. So we don't actually know what the Bible says because none of us have probably ever seen a complete Bible.
No, for sure.
Right, because it's been rewritten over thousands of times.
Rewritten, retranslated.
Well, we can't even say when the first Bible was actually written. Nobody can say for certain.
No. The oldest religion in the world is Hinduism.
Yeah.
By the way, like that we have evidence of.
Okay.
Hinduism is the oldest. So it's not even like there's proof that Christianity, which is like they're saying God made the world, but we don't even have proof that this is even the oldest religion. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's.
And it goes back to like the Ricky Gervais video. He goes and he touches on like, and I've told you this before. Just so happens where you were born at just happened to be the right one. Like if you were born in Pakistan, you probably would have been a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
If you were born in India, you'd probably be, a Hindu. If you were born in America, you're probably gonna be a Christian. And like the roll of the dice that just so happens you were born into the right region that believes in this religion is 100% it. It's yeah.
Nah.
But people don't think about it like that. When you talk to people and you're like, why do you believe what you believe?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would almost praise somebody if they believed something different than what their parents believed. Because that means they didn't just listen to what, like, the parents passed down. Because that's a hard thing, bro. You're supposed to listen to your parents. They're the ones who, like, guide you. They trust, like, you trust them.
They're the reason why you're here.
Exactly.
They gave birth to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it, like, they tell you, don't touch the fire, it's hot. Don't mess with a snake, it can bite you. They give you all this good, like, advice, and then they tell you God's real. Why would you not believe them? These are your parents.
Okay. So I get that. Let's say that they're leading you into the wrong direction, though.
Yeah.
And you say, like, I think that's the wrong decision. I'm going to make a different decision.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're saying, oh, okay, so you're not doing what your parents are telling you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
and technically, by the Christian Bible, you're disobeying your parents at that point, and you should be put to death. And not only that, but then you're believing another religion.
So what if sorry to laugh. So what if your parent is like tells the kid, and I know y'all got kids, so I'm like, but what if they're like, you're not listening to me, so I'm gonna kill you?
By law, you'll get in trouble. By man's law, you will get tried for murder and most likely get found guilty. But
then let's say you go to court, and then you're like, oh no, okay. Man, like.
And that's the thing,
I'm a Christian.
We put our hands on the Bible in name court, of the Lord. Right?
Yeah.
So when you get sworn in, you put your hand on a Bible.
That's not accurate.
What do you mean?
They no longer do that.
They no longer do it? They shouldn't do it, for one. Because...
So there was a point in time when they did do it.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yes. You'd put your right hand on the Bible, you hold your other hand up, and they'd say, do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And you say, I do. And, like, that's how you would get sworn in before you gave, like, your testimony.
Yeah.
We're using this Bible in a judicial system. But if we was to really use this Bible, we would have to let off so many people for, like, killing the kid. Because you could be like, hey, my kid told me fuck me. So I said, all right.
Yeah. I don't think you can use you can't use the Bible.
Shouldn't be... There's a reason we have a separation of church and state. It's not a hard separation, but it should be. Because of that reason right there. Like, we should not have religion affecting our laws that we make on our day-to-day life.
I think in living.
True, even in living. Yeah.
I feel like you can't say, like, oh, well, I'm going to do this because God told me to.
Yeah. Or God said I could.
Or God said I could, period. That's what I think. Because I've heard that if you pray for anything, you're not supposed to, like, for money, like, let's say you're in a financial slump.
Right.
And you're supposed to pray and say, man, I pray that God helps me out of this financial slump. And because you need $1 million.
Right.
I've heard people say you're praying for the wrong thing.
True. But I've also heard people say stuff like, I prayed for something and then, like, something happened and it came true. So that's my proof that it works.
Okay. So is that true, though?
But here's my thing. If we was to take 10 people, and this is how you discover what is true, like, unbiasedly true.
Mm-hmm.
If we take 10 people that all had the same problem, we put them in a room and we tell them to pray for it. If 10 people or 8 people's prayers are answered, then we could say prayer works. We cannot go off of one person being like, man, I was praying for some money and then, like, I got some money on a scratch off, like, and it was God. God did it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like saying, them 10 people say, all right, I need help. Not saying I need money or what, just I need help. And 2 of them go by scratch-offs. The rest of them don't.
True.
So one of them that doesn't ends up, for whatever reason they're doing in their life, gets a better job, whatever. Financially, they're helped. The other people who did different things or whatever, one of the people by a scratch-off wins. Does that prove that that person's answer was
And that's how you would have to test it. You would have to have them do the exact same thing. So that's how you test something. It has to be, you have to have a controlled group. Same thing when we test like drugs and stuff. Like we take people, we give them the same thing, or we give them whatever. You have to take 10 people in the same situation wanting the same thing. Whether it be money or whether, let's take money out of it. Let's say we take 10 cancer patients.
Okay, yeah, because you want to be cured.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we say, we tell them to pray. Let's see how many are cured, and let's give 5 chemo and 5 not chemo, and let's just see who gets healed, and see if the 5 that prayed and didn't get chemo got better.
Yeah, because I've heard that they say that it doesn't happen when you want it to happen. Or they say God wouldn't put anything on you that you can't handle.
Yeah.
See that?
But people kill themselves all the time, bro.
Yeah, so it's like, if God's not going to put anything on you that you can't handle, why are there people going through the world that's going through so much stuff to a point where they have to, they don't have any choice. The only thing that they're thinking like, okay, maybe I should just end myself.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's where I can't believe when people say God won't put anything on you that you can't handle, because it has happened. People has had so much put on them, and I'm not saying God put it on them, because I don't necessarily believe in God, so I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, the bad stuff happened, fuck God, I don't like God. If I don't believe in God, I can't blame him for bad stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't double dip in that situation. I don't believe in God as in Christian God. I don't believe there's this dude in the sky. And I don't believe in heaven or hell either. I do believe.
They say you can't see him.
What you mean?
Like God. They say like you can't see him. They say he works among us.
Oh,
and you can't see it.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but he
good.
said like you can't see him. You can't, like, I guess, feel him. You can
communicate with them.
You can't communicate with them.
Well, I guess technically they say like you can talk to him, but you're not going to get an audible response back. People say they have, bro. I've heard it.
Yeah.
But we also
But the question is, who are they getting a response from? Because if you believe in God and religion, there's 2 sides to the coin. There's good and there is evil.
Yep.
So you may be hearing a voice that sounds good, but it's really disguised as evil.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't consider, is you can't just look at one thing and be like, oh, yeah, we believe in God, everything's good. There's another side to him, and that's the devil.
Yeah.
And so that's his whole goal purpose is to turn people away from God.
Right.
So you have to like also think about, even when the Bible's being rewritten by man, who is also influenced by the devil.
Yep. So that's a good point. So do you think, with that being said, so now I'm thinking something different now. So if they're influenced by the devil, so those people that's writing the Bible that says there's an evil in the Bible, do you think those people that's rewriting all of these stuff in the Bible is like, okay, I'm gonna put like, don't commit this, or you can kill, but kill in my name.
It's got to be this reason.
Yeah, is that like the devil that's taking over them?
I don't believe in the devil though. That's the thing. I believe in good and bad, but that goes back to morals, and that goes back to the people's choice. I don't think there is like, how like the cartoons, I have like the angel on one shoulder, the devil on one. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I believe that's like a metaphor for like the decisions we have in life, because I do believe you can either be a good person or a bad person. I don't necessarily believe it's like
you can pick and choose and be both.
Well, you can. Oh, you 100% can be both. Yeah. Why can't you be both?
How?
Because you can be a bad person and do a good deed. Just like you can be a good person and do a bad deed. You can be both, bro. We are both at all times.
Okay.
It's all about balance. So
See, I don't think you can be both at the same time, though.
No,
if you're a good
no,
person,
I don't think it can be at the same time.
Yeah, if you're a good person, you commit a bad deed.
Yes.
That doesn't tip the scales all the way over to now you're 100% bad person.
That's what I'm saying. So, but you're still the same person, is what I'm saying. You do have a point. If you're a good person committing a bad deed, that means in that moment, technically, you're a bad person.
Well,
or are you a good person doing something bad?
Let's use this for example. God put you in here, Archie, because you're in here, and we had a podcast where we was talking about Archie's situation. Yeah. So I believe, Archie, you're a good person, and with that situation, you did that to protect your family. Mm-hmm. So it's like, is that kind of like what we're saying? Like he's a good person, but technically,
I could give you a better example, but I'm not going to because it's incriminating. But
get what I'm saying, Archie. So technically,
okay, you use a weapon to. Let's use me here because I would rather use me because I don't want to put it on nobody else. Okay. Let's say that. So I'm about to be divorced, but let's say like I was married and I cheated, but like all the other time, like I take care of my kids, I go to work, I do everything I'm supposed to do, but I cheated. That's not.
So that's saying that
I could be a good person, but I could also do something bad. And I mean, it's all about balance. There's no you cannot have good without bad. Mm-hmm. You can't have happiness without sadness. There has to be a balance. Because if all we knew was happiness, we wouldn't even know we was happy. You have to have moments of sadness.
Doing something bad.
Well, or if we're talking about good and bad, yeah. You're gonna have moments to where you can try your best to be a good person, but you're gonna fail at some point in time, no matter what it is. Like,
do you think that's
look at you, bro?
Do you think that's human nature?
Yes, 100%. I think you as a person, bro. I can't think of anything that you do that is bad, like at all.
Well, my wife's here, so
okay. That's what I'm about to get into. That. I can't think of anything you do bad that like I would be like, well, Sean's a bad person for this at all. I can't think about you sinning. I can't think about like you doing drugs. You don't go out to the clubs. You don't cheat. Like,
do you? So since my wife is here, putting it all out there, do you think I do anything
that somebody could judge?
That'd be like, oh, he's a bad person. Yeah, that they can judge me off of.
No.
See,
and that's honest, being in all honesty.
If he was a bad person, I wouldn't be married to you.
Good point. Okay, but now let me ask you directly as a person. Mm-hmm. Have you ever sinned in your life?
Yeah.
Okay. So see what I mean? Like, you're a good person, but you still have done bad things. And it's all about balance. And I think the bad that you have done, I think anytime you have done something bad, I'm guessing here, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Anytime you've done something bad, it probably made you feel bad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you corrected your behavior because of that. You were like, damn, that made me feel bad. I don't want to feel bad, so I won't do that again. And that's how you corrected your behavior moving forward.
So you're saying that's the good in me, like saying like recognizing it and saying
it definitely is the good in you, but it's also saying that without the bad, you wouldn't have been able to know to correct that behavior. Like, give me something bad you did. Tell me something bad that you think. Bro, because I could tell you a lot about me, so I could go on for days, but
can't really say a whole lot for myself.
Okay. What do you think?
I don't think she's gonna know. I think it's gonna be you. It's gonna be something only you are aware of. Something that made you feel bad. What about fighting that certain person? How'd that make you feel?
Okay, we can use that since you bring that up.
We don't have to say no names because
we don't have to say no names. But after that incident, mm-hmm. I did feel bad. Like, I went home, I was thinking about it. You know, after I started calming down and everything, and I was like, I wonder if he's hurt.
Right.
I did. Mm-hmm. Honestly. I was like, is he hurt? Like,
did you fight anybody like that after that?
No.
See.
And it'll probably like take it out. it already took a lot out of me to even do that. But now since I did it, I'm like, man, it's probably going to take even more out of me to even do it again.
Right. Like the situation is going to have to be high stakes for you to.
Like my life have to be on the line, pretty much.
Or
your
wife's.
Yeah, or my wife's,
I don't know, man. At the end of the day, what I would like to see in a perfect world, let's just do this real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I would like to see religion taken out of anything to do with lawmaking. Because, for one, we're not incorporating all religions. We're only using one, the Christian religion. We have the 10 Commandments on the Capitol grounds, but when the Satanic Temple gave a statue of Baphomet, the goat person, I don't know if you've ever seen it, they gave it to donate. They said, you had the Christian religion represented here, represent ours, and we'll donate the statue. And people freaked the fuck out. They said, no, we don't. It was here in Arkansas. They freaked the fuck out. They was like, we don't want it there. We don't want the devil here. And they didn't even know that the Satanic Temple doesn't even believe in the devil. They call them. It's now the Church of Satan is a different thing. The Church of Satan believes in Satan and they worship Satan. The Satanic Temple, their name is to fuck with Christians. It's to show that Christians only see the cover.
Okay.
And they immediately judge. That's the one that I read you. They're like 10 Commandments. I think they have like 7.
Yeah.
But so I think take religion out of lawmaking. Don't have anything to do with. Your personal religious beliefs should not affect my life in any way.
I agree.
Okay. So that's my big point with that.
Yeah.
I respect your right to believe it. Doesn't mean I have to respect your beliefs. We talked on that on the last one. Because let's say somebody does say, well, my kid disrespected me. I can kill my kid because my God said so.
Yeah,
You're not going to respect that. Like, there's no fucking way. Yeah. It's just, it is what it is. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's touch on the killing of the kids. It is in the Bible that they praise people for going to their enemy's territory, town, whatever, and taking infants and slamming them against rocks.
Rocks, yeah.
And this is in the Bible. Like, you can open your Bible. I can even give them the exact fucking verse of where to look it up. And I did this with my mother back when I was talking to her because she almost didn't believe me. She was like, no, it's not in there. I told her the verse. She opened the Bible, read it, and it's exactly what is on the Evil Bible website.
Wait, so the Evil Bible website, or is it in the?
It's in the actual Bible. Well, everything off the Evil Bible is in the Bible.
Okay.
It's not like a rewrite. They don't. Yeah, no. It's.
So why don't? So if it's in the actual Bible in a church, and the preacher is actually like going off of this Bible, so why don't he say, "Oh, okay, but there is evil in the Bible too"?
So how often do you go to church?
Be honest, I haven't went to church in probably 10 years.
So look back to them 10 years, and how often did you go and the preacher talk about something that was bad? Like legitimately bad.
I can't remember a time when they did.
I mean, they talk about being like
get
down.
Paid to go look through the scripture, find something that they think will be relatable, and talk about.
Yes. Okay.
Well, that's cherry picking.
Most of your people who go to church are typically they're married couples going, families, things like that. So they got to find stuff in there that relates to that, and not the bad of it.
Yeah, because they would say like, hold your hand if this and this and this has ever happened in your life.
Yeah.
And then they would go through the Bible and they would say, well, the Bible says this and this and this.
And going back to that, if you're going to a church, you're from a community. These people know each other. They know what people go through.
Yeah.
So.
See, yeah, that too. Okay. I didn't even think about it that way.
There's another thing to think about. When they send people, and I just talked to some Mormon kids about this, so people who knock on people's doors to try to convert them. I talked to these kids. They were 18 and 19, I believe. I said, how many people have y'all converted? For real, be real with me. And they said, not as many as we like. I said, give me a number. And they was like, I've never had one. And I said, okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think your church sends you out in the world to knock on the doors because they truly believe you're going to convert somebody to your religion? Or are they doing it for you to feel rejection from the world? Because think about it, most people are going to shut the door in your face. They're going to tell you, fuck off. And then you feel like, damn, the world's a cold place. It's hateful out there. And then when you come back to your church is like, yeah, you see how bad it is out there? Now we love you. You're accepted here. It's almost a form of like brainwashing in a way. It's putting them in a situation that they know is not going to end positively to come back to the church and be re-embraced and feel loved. And then it makes you feel like, man, the world's cold, it's evil, it's hateful, but church is good. When I come back to church, people love me. They don't slam doors in my face. They don't tell me leave me alone. But I don't get the door knocking thing, bro. You're not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna be able to knock on your door if you are religious and me tell you about another religion, and you be like, okay, I'm gonna do that. It's very rare. For one, people are stuck in their ways. For two, like, who the fuck is gonna listen to somebody knocking on your door, talking about like, can you believe in Jesus? Like, you got a moment to talk about Jesus?
Yeah, they're gonna like, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
So, Psalms 137:9. Here God commands that infants should be dashed upon rocks. For anybody who don't believe it's in the Bible, you can look it up. That's where you'll find it. Another one, 1 Samuel 15:3. God commands the death of helpless, suckling infants. This literally means that children God killed are still nursing. I mean, this is in the Bible. And you can look it all up. 2 Kings 15:16. God allows the pregnant women of, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this place, to be ripped open. And the Christians have the audacity to say God is pro-life. How in the hell is that Christians can read passages where God allows pregnant women to be murdered, yet still claim abortion is wrong?
It's all backwards. Or it really doesn't. Not even
it's
backwards.
Contradicting. It's just contradicting with what it is.
Yeah. And for all the listeners out there, we're not trying to I'm not trying to bash the Bible, but I'm trying to.
Nobody here is.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand why no one talks about the evil that's in it.
Yes.
Like they all say, oh, it's all good.
Book.
God is all good. It's the good book. He's all loving. He's all caring. And that's what I learned because I've never even read the evil part. So then when I reading it, I'm like, this can't be in.
Do you think
the Bible
they didn't let you read the evil for a reason?
I'm pretty sure it's for a reason because just that, they want you to question. They don't want you to question the God's word.
Dude, what made me first start questioning? I knew at a very young age I was atheist or agnostic. I didn't know there was a word for it. I didn't like going to church. I didn't believe anything when people would catch the Holy Ghost. I thought it was fake. It didn't click with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to express that.
So on that, so I'm glad you said that. So I've watched on TV, never seen it in person, but I've seen on TV where, they catch the Holy Ghost or they'll say a person can't walk. So they'll say they're in the wheelchair, their back is broken, there's no way they can walk. Then I've seen them put their hand on this person and they're praying and then they say, now stand up. And then they stand up and they'll say, now take a step.
Yeah.
And then you take your step and they'll say, now take another step. Now all of a sudden you're taking 4 or 5 different steps and they're like, and then the person's like, I've never took that many steps before. And they're like, now you can walk. And they're like, I can walk. Yeah. And then they and I'm like, wait a minute.
And then right after that, guess what happens? Pass around the collection plate. And that's where they get your money.
10%.
So they're saying it's all a show.
It is all a show. The husband and wife couple actually got proven to be fraud. They would have an earpiece in and they would talk to people before church and they would relay. He would be like, I'm sensing somebody with this type of name and you're going through this. And the lady would be like, it's me. And he was like, and your daughter she's dealing with this, and she's like, oh my God, that's me. And they were relaying it through an earpiece the whole time. Taylor, what was you about to say?
Well, first of all, if you're basing your information off of TV shows,
correct,
then you can 100% guarantee it's probably fake.
Well, these are televised.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Church.
It's not a TV
show.
That
was planned to be televised.
Yes.
So it's not like somebody just showed up with a camera crew on a Sunday and was like, hey, we're going to record your church.
But a lot of churches
they
do
know
that.
in
Mega
advance.
Churches.
But somebody they know is hitting that record button.
Mm-hmm. They're not doing it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, it is.
Exactly.
They're putting on a show.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
so
they're
that's
doing.
why I'm like, if it's on TV, somebody had to produce it. Somebody had to know in advance. You can't just show up and be like, hey, I'm about to record all you people and put it out there.
You gonna make somebody walk today?
So it was planned.
Yeah.
All right. Now go back again to the Holy Ghost. You said the Holy Ghost.
Okay. So
what is the Holy Ghost?
So my grandma took me to a Pentecostal church when I was very young. A Pentecostal church is wild. If you haven't been, they get wild. Okay. And the Holy Ghost, what I would witness is people would like run around. I'm talking about like old people, like would run around like crazy, like 10 times worse, flopping on the floor. We had a guest preacher come in one time, and he was giving a sermon, and then this guy, he was like, you know, stand up, I'm a savior, whatever it was, and he like from me to you wouldn't touch him. He'd go touch, and he'd say that. And he would slam this guy up against the pew like he had magic powers. And every time the guy would rise, like he'd be talking over here, and he'd see him, he'd go, touch! Again, he would fly against the wall. And it just kept going on and going like this whole time. And I'm looking like around like, this motherfucker Superman? Or like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, but here's what happened. So he does this to a few people. People come up in line. Or just trying to check out somebody. So people would come up in line, he would say touch, and they would like fall down and like shake or whatnot. My grandma went up there and he did it to her. Now she's a bigger lady, a little older. He says touch, she don't fall. She don't flop. But my grandma's also not gonna be faking shit.
Fake about it.
You know what I mean? So like
she exposed them, didn't she?
Kinda, in a way. Like, and it started like my gears started turning. Like, that was one of the first things that was really like, I was like, okay, this might not be real. But then the whole devil, like, torturing people who do bad. If the devil wants you to do bad, why would he torture you for it? Like, that don't make sense. Like, that's basically me saying, like, I want you to do something for me, Sean. And then when you do it, I'm going to punch you for doing it. I'm like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, if he wants you to do bad and he wants you to go to hell, why when you get to hell, why would he torture you?
Yeah, he's not going to torture you. He's going to convince you
like,
to
he's
do
like,
it.
good job, bro. Like, welcome to the party.
Yeah, he's
like,
going to be like, yeah, good job. Like, let's do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not going to torture you.
Well, that's what it says in the Bible. It says you will burn for all eternity. You will burn in damnation for all eternity.
But you got to look at also, the devil was supposed to have been an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
A beautiful angel, too, at that. It's like this ugly, like, red horns.
With the horns
tail.
and stuff. Yeah.
No, he, technically in the Bible, he was, like, one of the most beautiful and very, like, what do you call it? Like, narcissistic.
What made him angry?
I think the story is what? He wanted to overthrow God, actually?
I think it's because he was upset with God's obsession with man. And he didn't agree with God that man was good. Like, he'd seen through them that they were evil and selfish. And so that's why he went against God and he fell from heaven.
God kicked him out of heaven.
Yeah.
That's where hell. And then then I guess that's where
so now that's where his goal comes in, of his goal is to turn people against God. Because that was God's children, his creation, his obsession. So to get revenge is to turn all those people against God.
And make them do all the sins that we're not supposed to do.
Let's just throw this out there.
Man,
what if man was created by the devil and God flooded the earth to try to cleanse it?
You see? Like, that's a whole other thing.
That's
Kendrick brought up, and I wish Kendrick would have came today. Shout out Kendrick. Kendrick brought up something that I never thought of. Because in the Bible, it does say God is all perfect. He's all loving. Kendrick said, I just don't believe God is all perfect. He said, I think God is flawed. Because Kendrick does believe in God, but he says, I do believe he's flawed. And I've never thought about that that way because I've always been told, no, he's perfect, blah, 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 so I never thought like, oh, well, maybe there is a God, but maybe he's just not perfect. I mean, think about it. We're created in his image. We're not perfect by no means. So if that's the case, how can he be perfect if we're created in his image?
Well, since you put it like that, I mean, it would make sense why people would do what they do anyway. Like as far as like sin.
Yeah.
So that would make sense then if he has flaws and he's not perfect. So if someone would say that like, oh, okay, well, you did this, it's wrong. We're God's image. So God is not all perfect, so
we said he was,
and I guess he died for our sins.
Jesus.
God
and Jesus is two different things.
Okay.
Jesus
all right, let's go on that.
Okay, Jesus is he's
the Son of God.
He's the Son of God, and the Virgin Mary was impregnated by God.
Okay.
And like that's the whole thing of Jesus. He was supposed to be like the second coming to like save the world, and instead the Romans tortured and killed him. They crucified him, which crucifixion was a thing that was quite like prevalent back then. Like they did it a lot. It wasn't like just a special thing they did for Jesus. There was also two other men crucified on that day with Jesus. So I'm not sure why all the hype is just about Jesus, but yeah. Then they say like he died, then came back 3 days later, and that's what Easter is, and it's just man. The reason, okay, if there is a God, let me say this: if there is a God and he is the Christian God, I don't believe he fucks with us. Like, he does not intervene in our life at all. I just can't believe it because if there is a God and he is up there watching babies getting raped and children getting cancer and dying from I cannot believe in my heart that he would allow that to happen. Yeah. So I do believe in something. I say the universe is what I call it because I told you we're all made of dead stars. Like that's where we came from. We're stardust. That's how we are here today. So we are the universe. So it's not as if we're people experiencing the universe. No, we're the universe experiencing what it's like to live as people. Is how I look at it.
Okay.
And that's just my belief. And I think once we die, I think our energy just goes back to energy. It's just pure. It may not be conscious. You may not know it, but it will just be pure energy. So there can be no right or wrong because we don't have flesh to make us want like sex outside of marriage or alcohol or drugs or whatever it is. You won't have the flesh to make you want to sin. It'll just be pure energy.
All right. Okay. So I want to touch on this before we change the topic.
Yep.
So do you believe if you're needing help and then someone says, pray about it, do you think God is the one that's helping you?
I don't know.
In anything.
I do believe in manifesting things. I do think it's very real. And there's even been some documents leaked, or not leaked, but released about the CIA looking into manifesting.
Saying the CIA is helping us?
They're looking into manifestation. So basically, for us, say we sit down and we just have this vision of 50-50 is going to be big. We're going to blow up. We're going to get 100 views. We're going to get 1,000 views. We're going to get 1,000,000 views. It's going to happen. And we say it and speak it into reality.
Speak it into existence.
And then it happens. That's manifestation.
Yeah.
So prayer can be looked at as a form of manifesting. So I don't think prayer is necessarily negative. I actually think you should pray in some type of way. It don't have to be to God. But I think to sit in silence with your thoughts and just be in the moment and be appreciative of all you have is a good thing. I don't see why that would ever be a negative.
Well, that's called meditation.
Exactly, and that's what I would refer to as meditation.
Praying.
Well, it is. Prayer and meditation there's a thin line between prayer and meditation. You're doing almost the exact same thing, but prayer is more directed to God, where meditation would be just
throwing it out there.
Yeah. And just like when I meditate, I'm like, I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful that they're healthy.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the little I do have.
Mm-hmm.
I have just enough, if not, sometimes a little less. But I'm thankful to be able to experience this life.
Okay.
Because it will end one day. Like, and that's scary to think about, and it can give me panic attacks when I think about it sometimes. And not even because I'm scared to die, but like I'm scared for my kids to have to go through that.
Okay. So you're saying be thankful for what you have.
I think you should be thankful for what you have regardless. Whether you're religious or not, I think we lose sight of that. I think people too often, we compare ourselves with everyone else. So like instead of like us being like, we're thankful we're here to be able to do this. Like we had cars to get here. We have drinks, like we're cool, we're chill, we're able to sit and have this conversation. Like, be thankful instead of like comparing ourselves to, well, damn, bro, why ain't we like Joe Rogan? Why don't we have the big studio? Like, no, let's be thankful for what we do have, and then
I say be thankful for what you have, and then work hard to achieve it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because let's talk about that. Do you think, let's say, I want to get somewhere in life?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I could just pray and not do any action and get somewhere?
No.
Now, do you think I could do action without prayer and get somewhere?
Yes.
See? That's where
I don't pray.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's where I like.
But they say
prayer without action doesn't do anything.
Right. And I've heard, just saying, I've heard people say, "Oh, well, you got to where you are because God opened those doors for you to walk in
and it makes me cringe every time they say it.
And I'm like, so let's say there's someone that's every day they get up, they work hard every day, busting their butt every single day. They can barely make ends meet. Right. But every single day they're probably working harder than the person that's like their boss.
That's half the time.
And you're like, and then another person that comes in chilling, they don't work, they call in, they're late. When they are on the job, they're lazy, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna promote you. You're gonna get a raise. You're gonna be the boss." And you're like, the guy that's waking up every single day that's been busting their butt is like, what?
So let's take that. So we both work at the same place. We do different jobs. Wes is out there actually working while I chill in the office most of the time. But there's a new position that just came available that was posted to apply for.
Yeah.
But no one's getting that position.
For once, it's a shitty position.
The position's already filled.
Oh, okay. I was about to say it's a shit fucking position.
They just have to post it for so long to say
for show.
Okay. Yeah.
So even if someone where we works harder than someone else or whatever, they don't have a chance.
Because they already know who's going to be in that position. Now you have to tell me this shit off air because I want to know who has the job now. I wasn't going to apply anyway. But
that plays off of what? Probably favoritism.
It goes back to
politics.
It's not how hard you work. It's not how good your work is. It's who you know and how friendly you can be with those people.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I may not do shit half the time, but I do stuff.
I think, like I said, prayer without action is not going to lead nowhere. Action without prayer can definitely lead somewhere. Does that prove prayer is irrelevant altogether? Some could make the argument, yes. I don't think so. I don't see nothing wrong with praying. I really don't. Just like I tell my kids, bro, they can believe in any religion they want. Mm-hmm. I've even told you I went to church with my daughter because she wanted to go. She couldn't go by herself. I went, sat through the whole thing. Like, it didn't change me. I didn't be like, oh, I'm going to change my ways. Like, I still believe how I believe. Mm-hmm. But I can do that for her.
Yeah. I just think work hard for it. I don't think that prayer is going to get you anywhere faster than someone else.
If it did, why would people work hard ever?
Exactly.
What would be the point of working hard if I could just sit and pray for it?
It's probably not going to, I do believe that it's probably not going to happen when you want it to happen.
Right.
But I feel like if you work hard and you stay consistent, you stay at it, I think eventually it's going to happen. But it's not God opening up those doors for you or holding you back. I just think like maybe it's not your time yet.
Well, and that's something too. When people say like, say you get a promotion at work because you've been busting your ass, and they're like, "Well, thank God, Sean."
Yeah,
I'm like, well, Sean was the one busting his ass. Yeah. And I get they'll say, well, but God put you in the position to be able to bust your ass. He made sure you wasn't sick. He made sure like your relationship was good. But that is still you. You made sure of all that. You stayed healthy.
I got sick and I drank some medicine.
Yeah, like
I took some medicine.
People are so quick to not take
God
credit.
Tell me that. But yeah, I'm being
and that's realistic. Too. There's people out there that believe that you cannot take medicine. They believe to pray for it, and that's it. They won't let their children take any kind of like antibiotics, any blood transfusions, nothing, because their religion says like no. We pray on it, and whatever happens, happens. If God wants my kid to die, okay. Even if there's a medicine that can save your kid for sure.
Yeah,
it's crazy, like the way religion can like brainwash.
That is crazy.
So we already went on power on this one. Let's get off this topic.
Let's get off this topic.
It wasn't even going to be if we was going to have the people that we had here, we would have talked about this a little longer. But since this is a little different episode, we're going to talk about something different. What do you want to go into next?
You want to jump into UFC?
We can do that real quick because it's just going to be real short.
Okay. What you got?
Robbery last night. Bad robbery.
Okay.
Kara France definitely won this fight and was robbed 1,000%. Everybody knows it, and I'm wondering, what is your opinion? How do we fix this? Can we fix this?
So I didn't see the fight, but you explained it to me. So did he clearly win the fight?
Clearly.
Okay.
Like, I'll pull up the stats real quick, but it's a clear dominant performance by France.
All right, and he lost by decision?
Yep.
And then the judges...
He lost by split decision. And I just...
So do you think it probably was going back into like favoritism? You know...
I don't know. I don't know if it's that or if it's just...
So the winner of that fight, was he planning to like fight like for a title or something like that?
This is potentially, like I said, a title fight, but it's not like it was like guaranteed on the line.
Mm-hmm.
But it does change like the trajectory of this fighter's career now.
Okay, because I have heard stuff like that where like, you know, they go all the way down to the final second. It's been a decision and they're trying to set something up for like a potential title fight or something later on down the line, like a bigger fight. So then they'll say, you know, the cards will get kind of mixed up. You know what I mean? So I've seen stuff like that before. But
see, but here's the thing too about that is,
I mean, the judges should be held accountable.
How do we do that though?
What didn't you mention? You said something like Izzy said after the fight, you know how they interview the fighters? They're saying like interview the judges and say, why did you make that decision? Why do you think that person won? If you put them on the spot like that, maybe that'll...
I think that's what we need to do, because if not, we're gonna keep getting these type of decisions that are just so out there and one-sided that, and like, bro, I'm telling you, this fight is so bad. Like, they fucked this decision up so bad. And it's so obvious that, like, when it got called, bro, Herb Dean, who was the referee, like, has to raise the winner's hand, and he's just like, even his face says it all. Like, he was there the whole time.
He didn't win,
yeah,
bro.
For sure.
Leave it up to the ref.
Think so?
Leave it up to the ref, because the ref is the one that has to, like, stop the fights, right?
True.
I think that's putting too much on the ref.
Really?
Because sometimes they don't make the best decisions themselves.
I mean, true,
but it in people getting knocked out and letting them keep going and things like that.
You've also seen the other way that like an early stoppage.
Yeah.
And you're also putting the decision into one person's hand. That one person can be easily bought.
Yep. I do think it's...
Okay. Fans? Well, probably not fans.
No, you definitely can't do fans because Conor will never lose a fight.
Yeah.
As long as Conor makes it to decision.
He's the people's
he's going to
champion.
I think they should go to a 4-man judge panel.
I was going to say at least 4 or 5 judges.
And then have a split judge on reserve, which would take over for that split decision.
And let that be like the deciding factor in it.
I definitely think the answer is more judges. Like, there's just... Because the way they have this...
Just like how she said, got paid off.
There's only one judge that called the fight right.
Something up for, like, a potential title fight or something later on down the line. Maybe they want that person to be the face of something.
So. Because Kara France is the bigger star than... Abziz, I think is how you say his name. He would have been bigger to win. So like as far as favorite, I don't think so. I don't have the answer to fix it. I just
saying that it needs to be
fixed. It really does. And they also use like a boxing scorecard, and it doesn't work for MMA.
Yeah,
you can't just take something from another sport and apply it to this one, which is totally different.
Yeah.
It'd be different if all he was doing was boxing, but they're not. I mean, we're talking about like submission, control,
so much stuff. Yeah. Submissions, takedowns. Boxing is they just using their hands.
Exactly. So, it's way easier to do like a 10-8 must system. On boxing than it is on UFC.
Yeah.
Because and another thing is too with judges, I think. Let's say, I beat you. It's a 5-minute round. Say I beat your ass for 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And in that last 30 minutes, you just connect and you just are teeing off on me against the cage.
Mm-hmm.
What's the last thing you're going to remember?
Probably that last
You're going to remember seconds. You beating my ass up against the cage and totally not think well, damn, for 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You beat that motherfucker's ass.
Yeah.
So I think, that's a bad thing, too. That, I don't know, using it up. Relying on humans to judge something like that, I almost feel like you can't because human error is so great. I don't know what the answer is. I just want to touch on it real quick and say it was a robbery and just it needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
I
got one more thing about UFC. So on the last episode, you said what's the name? Ian Gary.
Yes, Ian Gary.
You said he was gonna be the next upcoming star. So I went back and I watched some of his fights.
Mm-hmm.
You said he was going to be the next Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm. I believe he has the potential to. What do you think?
I don't think so.
Why?
I mean, he's a good fighter, but I don't know. Like he's not like the people's champion. Like because Conor came in kind of like
this is the thing.
Already
he's opposite Conor. When I said he was like Conor, I was just comparing it because. For one, they're both Irish, and they're both really great fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And he reminds me a lot of Conor in the early days because he's like a lot of karate type style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And striking is fucking great. Kicks are great.
And he's funny looking.
Think he's funny looking?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Ian Gary?
He's funny looking, bro.
Why?
And I was just like, he's not like when you say the face, you got to think of like.
I mean, I don't think he'll be the face of the UFC, but I just think he's going to be
champion.
A big star.
You gotta have star power though. You can't just be a good fighter. And I don't know. I was trying to look up some of his interviews.
You think he's funny looking? What's wrong with him? He looks just like a normal dude to me. He almost looks like Wonder Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, kinda. But you gotta have that star power. So, because I was trying to find out some of his interviews and stuff, and I was like. I don't know. Can he sell a fight?
I think once he gets up, he just broke into the top 15. Give him time. I think he'll amp it up. Something else I do want to touch on the last episode. I was talking about UFC 2.
He switched up on that. Real quick. No, bro.
The last episode, I was talking about UFC 290. I thought that was the Amanda Nunes card.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's the Alexander Volkanovski Yair Rodriguez fight. So I just want to make that correction. Her fight is actually 289. So UFC 289. I'm not really. It does have Charles Oliveira, but yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that fight.
Yeah. Did you going back to that? What is it? 291.
291. Yeah.
You see that fight card, Archie?
I haven't been seeing any of the cards.
That's the best fight card we've seen in a while. Everybody's on that fight card. It's stacked.
And they're fighting for the BMF title.
So what's that? What fight is that going to be for them?
Second.
Just their second?
Yeah. You see the fucking co-main event? Bro, the only two people to beat Izzy.
So he's moving up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He went up to light heavyweight. He's going to fight the only other person to beat
So,
Izzy.
Archie, real quick, name off those fighters again on that card. Real quick, I know you're looking at it. Who's on there?
You got...
He like,
You got Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje.
For the BMF title.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got...
Jan Blachowicz.
And Alex
Pereira.
Mm-hmm.
Or Piera, however
Piera.
Yeah.
For the co-main event.
That's wild.
But you also got Tony Ferguson, Paulo Costa,
Wonder Boy.
the Wonder Boy, Derek Lewis,
Kevin Holland. It's a stacked fucking card.
Bro.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Some of these are probably going to fall off, but...
You think so?
It is such a... Yeah, because it is so far, like... The odds of one or more of these fights getting canceled is high. It happens.
I look for at least the top fights to be there, but...
What do you think about Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green?
I don't know.
Who do you think wins?
I mean, I would go for Ferguson.
You going? I
said that, but
I'm telling y'all right now.
But
it ain't gonna happen. Yeah. I want Ferguson to win. I want him to win and retire, and that way he goes out on a win. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. Now, if you was asking me to put money on it, bro, I'm going Bobby Green, and then I'm saying Ferguson still retires.
I hope that's not what happens, but...
You like Ferguson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ferguson's fun, but he ain't been the same since that Justin Gaethje fight, bro. Justin fucked him up.
All right.
Going to, what you got?
Yeah, so since we're talking about fighting, of course, boxing, that's my favorite. Do you guys know Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. boxing?
I'm sure Archie does.
Those are like two of the most popular boxing stars right now. Highly anticipated fight. They finally got the contract signed to fight. It's going to be July the 29th, and it's going to be in Vegas.
Oh, I do know Terrence Crawford. Yeah.
So he's pretty good, and it's for the undisputed welterweight title. And that weight class is 147. That's for all the belts. They said it's $25 million guaranteed for both fighters, win or lose. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. I don't know how they made it happen, but they happened. And they say that it is a rematch clause in the contract too.
I've noticed most boxing matches will always have the rematch clause, especially if it's a title, because like UFC automatically does. Like if you lose your title, they'll let you run it back. The odds of the champion regaining his title though in the UFC is very low.
Very low.
Like shout out to Izzy for making it happen, but it's not common for it to happen. Look at Usman, bro. Like get starched by Leon in the first fight. I think he's gonna come back and win the second one, and Leon just
he didn't.
Nope.
So did y'all just see the video of them two in at the airport? Izzy and Alex.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
What happened?
They were at the airport at the same time. Like they were making
little videos back and forth. It seemed like respectful, like
Was it
joking.
respect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's
John
like
was there.
got the camera and like he turns, like you see Alex in the background and he's like kind of like shies away.
Yeah.
They were being playful with it.
But yeah, Terrence Crawford.
Bro, 25 million?
25 million guaranteed, win or lose, and it has a rematch clause in it.
So that's 50 million right there that you're gonna give just to the fighters. What about like the people putting on the show? What about the promotions behind it? I wonder how much they're getting paid if you're able to give 25.
Well, it's going to be in Vegas. So you know the tickets aren't cheap.
Well, boxing's, we talked about this. UFC is better in my opinion as far as like putting on a great card. A full card.
Yeah, I agree.
But boxing does, I think, do the higher numbers when it's like top fights like this. But let it be like nobody's fighting. Like UFC, they can still get good numbers.
Yeah.
Boxing can't.
No, they can't. I agree with you 100%. Like, I feel like UFC, they put together like the best fights too. Like, they don't shy away from like title fights. Like with boxing, if you got like 5 of like the top fighters, they're all like, oh, I don't want to fight against.
They don't seem like they fight very much either.
They don't.
That's crazy.
And that's probably why when a title fight like that does happen, why they give like that much money to them, probably because you don't hardly ever get those type of fights like that. Maybe.
Does it do so good though?
Shy away.
Does the boxing do so good, like money wise, off revenue, that they're able to pay these fighters like this?
I mean, probably when the title fights kick in because of like the pay-per-view buys, the
views. Think it's crazy big like that though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, it has to be.
You would think.
It has to be. If
25 million is crazy. I can't believe 25 million for that.
Yep. 50 million, 25 guaranteed for both fighters. It's going to be July 29th in Vegas, and it has a rematch clause in it. And they say this potentially could be bigger than the Tank Davis and the Ryan Garcia fight, and the last one, the Loma Chico and David
I don't think that Tank and Ryan fight lived up to the hype.
Yeah,
I think pretty much everybody knew Tank was going to dominate. Of course, I was saying I was going for Ryan.
Yeah,
like,
I told you, bro.
Bro, it's fun to like. If you pick one, I got to pick the other. Like, this is the way to do it. But honestly, I thought Tank was going to win. It's like the Ferguson. I want Ferguson to win, but if you want me to put money on somebody,
would you put it on Ferguson?
I'm going Bobby Green.
Bobby Green?
No, yeah. Okay. I'm going Bobby Green.
Why you think Ferguson is
too old, bro? Yeah. And he just got a bad knockout from Michael Chandler. Bro, that was a bad knockout. That front kick to the face. And he was down for like 5 minutes.
You don't think he can bounce back?
I don't think so. He fought Nate after Chandler, right? I think Nate was after Chandler, and Nate choked Ferguson like that. And I've seen.
I remember that fight. Bad. That was a bad loss too.
I mean,
like Nate.
Everybody expected for one, Tony Ferguson has these wicked elbows, bro. They cut you the fuck open. They was betting on Nate to be fucking covered in blood by the end of this, and Tony was the one bleeding. That's wild. And then Nate to get the submission, like I said, I've seen Tony in some compromising spots, deep chokes, deep arm bars that I don't know how it didn't snap or tear or something, and Tony didn't tap. But it's as soon as Nate locked in a headlock, Tony was like, I'm out. I think it's not there, man.
All right.
I don't know if it's his drive or if it's his mind. I hate to say it. So
we'll see. Yeah.
So Archie said that real quick, but let's get into interracial dating. I had somebody reach out to me and they wanted us to talk about it. So I want to get y'all's opinions. I want to get y'all's thoughts on it. And the same thing with Archie, because Archie does do a lot of interracial dating.
Okay, what's the question?
Okay, so I guess first question is, which I know the obvious answer, but what is y'all's take on it? I mean, clearly, I know the obvious answer. Y'all are married, so I know like y'all don't have a problem with it. But like, has it always been that way? Have y'all always been open to like just any race, and just whoever clicks, or?
I mean, I don't really think it matters on race. If you want to be with somebody, just be with them.
Okay. So, you don't think it matters.
Okay.
How does, like, your family perceive it?
I mean, my parents.
Well, for both of y'all, actually, because Sean, I want to hear what your family thinks as well, because I know sometimes it can be like,
we can get into it.
Okay. So, Tayler.
My parents at first weren't a fan of it. It took them a while to like actually get to know Sean and see the type of person he is. And now it's like they treat him just like family. Anytime we have anything going on, they ask, "Where's Sean? Sean coming? Sean at work? Like he can't make it. Like what do we need to do?"
That's true. Actually,
birthdays and everything, Christmas, like everything. It's like Sean's like expected to be there, just like I'm expected to.
How long did it take for that to happen, though?
Probably. I don't know exactly. Like probably a few months.
Months.
Because when they first heard that he was black, they weren't too excited about it. Because as soon as I said that, they imagined like stereotypical, like cussing, slang, like pants hanging down, like that's what they kind of pictured.
What if it was? What if all that you just said was a white person?
I mean, they probably wouldn't have liked him either.
So it didn't matter if it was black or white. If they came with those qualities, it was kind of like shut it down.
But it was like the immediate
interracial dating by now.
The immediate because he's black, it's like that was the automatic assumption. Like
he's gonna be this type of person.
Yeah. Okay. And so once they actually met him and spent time with him, it took a couple months for them to see like he's not like that. He's a good person and everything.
I'm surprised it only took a couple months. I was expecting you to say years. I'll be honest. I really thought you were. I thought you were gonna say years. Sean,
it wasn't years.
How did your parents perceive Tayler? Were they cool off the bat? Be honest.
Yeah. So they actually were cool about it.
You lying? No, I'm playing.
No, they were cool about it. I think they were more not so cool about the age gap.
There's an age gap?
It's like 4 years, 4.5 years, so it's not like crazy. But at the time we met, I was just 18.
Yeah.
He was like 22, 23.
Oh, you were pedo. No,
so they were like, you know she's the same age as your brother, right?
But what is... Okay, let me get this out here for once and all. So age gaps, for one, I don't see an issue with it, especially like you said, you were 18.
Yeah.
You're an adult.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say 18 to 16. What do y'all think about that? Is that wrong? Just personal opinion, no judgment. I'm just...
Well, do you really consider an 18-year-old an adult?
Do I? Or...
Do you?
Do I? No.
Do you, Archie?
At 18?
Yeah.
I mean...
Are you an adult?
You're old enough to make your own decisions at that point, so you're an adult to me.
Okay.
No, if you're asking
whether you're ready to be that adult, there's a difference.
Well, that's what I was about to say. If you're asking me if I feel like the age 18 is what we would call a full-grown person, no. I would say more 21 to 25.
Okay. So, because me and her, we were living together. So let's say 18, are you ready to date, move in with your boyfriend, and like have like a real legit relationship?
First of all, we didn't just move in together.
Yeah, quit me. I
was graduating from high school. I had a job. I had a car. I had my own place that I was paying my bills for. He had his own place. His roommate moved out. He couldn't afford to live in a place by himself.
That's true.
He was staying with me. at my place.
Oh yeah, that
so
is
that's
true.
how we started living together.
Yeah, but we were still living together.
I got you.
We were still living together.
Okay, so let me say this real quick. So I was 16 and I had moved out with my girlfriend, and we were 16 living on our own. I was
same household.
Yeah, we were living on our own. That's what I'm saying. Like we lived together. Yeah.
At 16.
At 16, I had my own apartment. Could I be considered an adult?
No.
Just because I'm working, I'm paying bills, I'm living on my own, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying.
When you're considered an adult, does that have an age limit?
Does it have an age limit?
Or what's the proper age to be like, okay, you're an adult?
You're looking at the law or not. Legally, 18, you're an adult. That's what I'm saying.
Are we talking about the law, or are we talking about like what we just believe? Yeah, maturity. Because if we go off maturity, bro, it could be like way different. There's people who are 15, like me at 15. I believe I was grown. Like, not like just because like I thought not that I knew everything, but like I was ready to move the fuck out. I was willing to work, get a job. Like I just wanted to be on my own.
What got you to that point?
I didn't want to live with. I couldn't live under anybody's rules, and it's not even like I had strict rules. It's just I felt like I need to have my own space, and I feel I'm capable to do it, and I did. So by 16, and I couldn't put it in my name, of course, because I'm only 16, but I put it in my grandmother's name, and then I paid all my bills and had my baby mama. She wasn't my baby mama at the time. We were just boyfriend, girlfriend. Mm-hmm. We lived at the Timbers.
Was she ever like, you ain't grown, you got to put it in my name?
Who?
So that means you ain't grown.
My grandma? No. She just put it in her name, and yeah, I just paid the bills, and well, see, I couldn't put it in my name because legally I couldn't. Not because I couldn't afford it financially, or that I wouldn't, because I did and continued to do so. I mean, like,
I think so. I agree with you, but I think that's right there where they'll say like legally.
Well, I mean, technically, him being 16, he could have went and got the paperwork and everything. Been able to do it. It would just been a lot harder.
Somebody else just got to sign off on it.
I even had to provide my GED so I could work 40 hours plus at my job. Otherwise, I could only work, like, I think it's under 32, maybe.
So at 16, you was like, I'm ready.
Yeah. I had got my diploma, like, in 2 weeks, dropped out of high school, graduated the GED in 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm ready. Like, I don't want to live with nobody. I don't want to depend on nobody. And at the time, I was living with my baby mama's mother. Like, we were all in one house, and it just wasn't stable. We was constantly moving, like, every other month, and it's not the life I wanted. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, let's just move out. And we did. Like, maintained it for a while until, we ended up splitting. But we even moved up to Fayetteville, actually. Like, got all the way up to Fayetteville. Got our own place. Like, it's nice up there. And, like, I wish I could get back up there. Yeah, bro. It's real nice.
Yeah.
The situation I was in kind of made me hate it. Just because, like, what had happened up there. But other than that, yeah. I wouldn't mind going back. So, 18, 22...
I think I was 22.
Somewhere around. I mean, you should
know. Because we're 4 years. There's a 4 years age difference.
Yeah, like so your parents was more concerned that she was just 18.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't. Especially like, okay, my mother is dating someone who was born in the same year I am. Is that weird? Yes, but he's an adult, bro. He's 30-something. Well, he's got to be 32 or 33, I mean. Yeah. Depending on when his birthday is.
Yeah.
He's a full grown man. So, like. But it's weird as fuck, yeah, to think, like.
I would tell my mom, I would say, date someone your own age.
I don't talk to my mother, so it don't really affect me. That's what I would say. You wouldn't let your mom date whoever? You would actually give a fuck if your mom dated somebody your age?
Yeah.
Like, to the point you'd be like, no, don't do it, mom.
No, I mean, I won't get into it like that, but I would.
You would express.
Like, I would say something. Yeah, I would be like, why are you dating him? He's the same age as me. I know him. So I went to school with him.
Yeah, see.
But what does that matter, though?
Right.
I would just tell him, be like, hey, you ain't about to be my daddy, but...
Yeah, and that's why. That's probably why. Because
Now,
I would
if
be
it's
like...
somebody you knew, bro,
let's
that
say
would
they
be
get married, and I'd be like...
Think about
you ain't my stepdad, bro.
Think about your homie being like, nah, son.
I'd be like, you ain't my stepdad, bro. We're the same age.
Introducing your mother and your...
Yeah.
This is my mother's husband.
Yeah.
That's what I probably would do. I would introduce him just like that. That's my mom's husband.
Do you think...
like, that ain't your dad? Nah. That
Do you
ain't my
think age
stepdad.
is more... not divisive, what's the word I'm looking for? More of like problematic than interracial dating?
No.
No, you think it's interracial dating?
Yeah.
I think it should be.
Because for the most part, people don't know your age unless they
True.
know
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, true,
like
true.
a stranger ain't gonna look at you and be like, oh, I know they 10 years apart.
But
Like
skin color, yeah.
I think it's more... interracial dating is more common now.
So then why is it still a problem, though? Why do people still, like, have an issue with it? It is common. It is...
I think the people that have a problem with it is stuck, like, in their old ways. Like, you know, that's what I think. I think they're stuck in, like, the old ways, you know, like slavery, you know, this black and white thing.
Segregation,
like
keep them apart. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay. So
that's why.
Y'all's relationship is black man, white woman. Archie, yours is white man, black woman. Do you still see, like, well, not now, but like when it was, did you have like pushback from either like your parents, her parents, or society in any type of way?
I mean, of course you're gonna have it from society, but like I never really had it from my family. At least not in front of me.
Okay.
Not friends or anything like that. You know, it's definitely I'd say more society. Even my ex-wife or ex-girlfriends, their families were never had anything bad to say or anything like that. Just because they had already dated other white men.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't like something new to them.
Yeah.
But even with them already dating other white men, they still would have an issue with you. So that shows me, like, even though you've already done it, we've been through this before, clearly it's still, like, something they are not ready to let go of.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, I think if you have any type of, if any of that, like, thought come into your mind, like, why are you dating a black woman, or why are you dating, you know, a white man, or anything that has to do with race, that means, like, you clearly you got a problem with yourself, like, you're stuck in, like,
that.
you know, because now it's...
For one, it don't even affect you. That's what I don't get. So, like, if, let's pretend, like, I had a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all dating doesn't have shit to do with me.
Right.
Why the fuck would I care? Is how I look at it. But that's how I look at everything too. Like, if you want to do something, like, if it don't affect me, why would I care?
I think a lot of it goes back to, I mean, it could go back to like the old, you know, segregation and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they found people attractive of a different race. But
they definitely did, bro. Look at
They never took the advantage of saying, hey, I don't care what society's going to say. This is what I want.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was about to say, look how many times Master would have a baby with one of the slaves.
Mm-hmm. And she was an African American woman.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
But if their daughter had a baby with one of them.
Oh, yeah.
It's a problem.
Look at Life. Remember fucking Life
Mm-hmm.
with Eddie Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
They fucking holding up the baby and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the pappy.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it is weird, like, if the genders are flipped, it's a problem. Like white daughter it's worse for white daughter to date black man than it is for a white man to date black daughter. I don't know why it seems that way, but it does.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because men seem to get away with everything. Like, men can go out and sleep with hundreds of women, and that's fine. But if you have a girl who sleeps with 100 guys, it's like, oh, no, that's terrible.
Have y'all seen that movie with Jonah.
Yeah, it's called Us or Them or fucking no. God, what's that movie called? Jonah Hill and
Laura London and Jonah Hill.
Yes. What is it? Is it
Us People or
something people?
You People?
Yes, you something. Yeah, I think it is You People.
Is it You People?
I think it is.
Okay.
I've seen it. Yeah.
So
that's actually a pretty
Eddie
good show.
Murphy was not cool with his daughter being with a white man.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I don't know if it was just because he was white or he's Jewish or whatever the problem was.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the movie?
He was not good enough. Yeah, in the beginning.
It was because he was white. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. Did you watch it all the way through?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From the beginning? Yeah.
Do you know that kiss was fake? They never even kissed.
On the show? The movie?
In the movie, yeah. Like when they're getting married, it's not a real kiss. That's CGI. They never
So they made it look like they kissed?
Yeah. It's weird.
I
don't know if that was like a Lauren London thing. If she was like, look, I'll do the movie. I'm just not comfortable.
Yeah. Because I don't want to disrespect Nipsey.
Or it could. I've reached out to black women before, and they straight up be like, "No, I do not date white men."
I've reached out to white women that told me that shit.
So, why do you think that is?
And that's just the way they're raised. Like their family said, you do not, or their preference.
I think
just don't
preference
like
is a lot. Because I've dated, or not dated, but I've tried to holler at white girls, and they'd be like, "Oh, you a white boy?" And I'm like, "Bitch, what you mean? You white?" And they're like, "Yeah, but
I think some of
ain't
that
sleeping with no white boy."
That stuff is just. I mean, you can have a preference and like someone else. It's not like, oh, I only have to date this.
I agree.
Well, if it's your preference, though, that's your preference. Okay, so the reason this got brought up is because, in my younger days, especially when, I first started, having, sexual relationships, all I dated was black girls. That's, that was my thing.
Was that your preference?
Oh, yeah. It was, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but, for the longest, I just loved, black or, I would go with, mixed girls, too, but, I like black girls. And
West is white, for the people.
Yeah, if y'all didn't know. Fucking, I don't know what it is, but, I loved them. I loved everything about them.
Okay.
And then as I got older, I slowly started to kind of go for, white girls more. And, now I'm just, I don't, like Taylor said, if you like somebody, you like them. Skin shouldn't matter. Now I don't look at, I don't seek black or white. I have somebody I'm speaking to, she's white, and it's just what it is.
Are you gonna say the name?
Nope.
Still, bro.
Nope.
Man.
No, he knows.
That's crazy, bro. So let me get on it. I ain't trying to make.
Go ahead.
You think she's gonna get upset if I say this? I'm not gonna say the name. I'm not gonna say the name.
Don't say the name.
This is just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all legit, if y'all together,
but we're not. We're not together.
Okay, never mind then.
We'll go ahead and go ahead and finish the thing.
Well, he said go ahead and finish.
I want to hear what
if you're together,
you
shouldn't hide it whatsoever.
Yeah,
I should be and really, if y'all even talking, let's say y'all ain't officially together, I'm I'm gonna be able to say your name if somebody asks and be like,
so
hey,
we talked about all
you was
this.
talking to so and so and so and so. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so we talked about all this on an unreleased episode. We got flagged for copyright playing music. But we went into this whole topic, and Sean was trying to get me to say the name. I told him I can't. And the reason I cannot say her name, for one, she don't want me to. And the reason she don't want me to mainly is because I'm married. Still, legally. Now, I don't live with my, quote, wife. We ain't been together for years. Years. I ain't even slept in the same bed, nothing like that. But she still don't want to be seen as the woman talking to a married man. And I don't blame her. I can't.
I get that.
I get it, but don't
here.
Look, just the face you was making. I get it, but at the same time, bro, it does frustrate me at times because to know that my ex is out doing whatever she wants to do, sleeping with dudes, and and I can't. I mean, I guess I could, but I would rather wait on like this one person because I feel like she's worth it.
Okay, I respect that. I'm like, it's just a piece of paper, though. I'll be like, it's just a piece of paper. Like, we're not together. The only thing that's holding us together is this piece of paper.
Look how Taylor's looking at you.
Because again, it goes back to situations for girls are a lot different than guys. Guys get away with doing a lot more stuff than girls do. Mm-hmm. We do the same stuff.
I was about to say, I got a rebuttal for that. But go ahead.
Well, for the most part, you know, a guy steps out on his marriage. Yep. You know, oh, he's a cheater. Oh, okay, what's new? Yeah. But when a girl steps out, it's like, oh, she's a hoe. She's this. She's that. She's all this stuff. And so I kind of can see why, like, she wouldn't want to get mixed up in that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it kind of sucks, but...
Okay. Here's my rebuttal to that. My wife actually did cheat. Like, and when I say cheat, I mean as in we're still married, we're still living together. Well, listen. Technically it's cheating, but realistically, it's not. Because we wasn't together. Yes, we still lived in the same house, and we even sat down and like kind of talked, and I was like, hey, how about we don't sleep with other people until our divorce is finalized? And then once I said that, I was like, you know what? That could take a while. That could take months. And if you move out, who am I to tell you what you can't do? I said, so how about we don't do it until we live, you know, apart? And she was like, okay. And then 2 days before she moved out, she did go sleep with somebody. And it did. It still hurt in a way. Like, even though I know we're not together, I don't know why it hurt. And I can't explain the hurt. But, like,
that's because you have an agreement. It's just that's what, you know, when you sign a marriage certificate, you're making an agreement to spend your life with that person.
Oh, for sure. I agree.
So if that's not working out and you got to separate ways, as long as everyone's on the same page when doing it, mm-hmm. That's one thing. But you also can't expect somebody who didn't sign that agreement mm-hmm. to be like, you'd be like, oh, no, we married, but we not together, so me and you can be together.
Right.
Because it's like, any girl is going to want the respect of like, well, if you marry me, I wouldn't want it to come to a situation where we're like, oh, well, we together, but we're not together.
Exactly.
So it's like, you got to respect that person because, I mean...
And that's, I do respect her. The frustrating part is to know that, like, my wife is, and I say wife because just we're technically married. I hate referring to her as that. But my soon-to-be ex-wife is getting to live her life, you know.
I don't want to speak bad on you.
I'll speak bad on her. Tell her fuck her.
Would you still?
No, I'm just saying. It shows poorly on her character that whether you guys are together or not, if y'all had an agreement, even though you were married, not to step out of the marriage, she should have honored that agreement. If she didn't, that kind of speaks poorly on her.
Now, let me say this just for full transparency. I didn't necessarily, like, stay completely, like, faithful. I never slept with nobody. I never fucked nobody, nothing like that. But, like, there were situations to where, like I said, we've been done for years. Like, we don't sleep together. I sleep on the couch, whatnot. And I would, like, talk to females. And, like, would...
You go on dates?
I don't call it dates. I had a gremlin follow me to Buffalo Wild Wings because some motherfucker can't keep his mouth shut.
I'm saying, like, y'all, did y'all have a conversation? Or did y'all plan on going on a date? Like, hey, man, y'all, let's go get something to eat. Let's go out. Let's go to the movies.
But even still, even if you were talking to other people and it wasn't necessarily set in stone, you couldn't talk to people. Probably shouldn't have been doing it. But if it was set in stone, like, hey, let's not sleep with other people before we get divorced, then that should have been honored either way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I even took that back because I was like, divorce could take months.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy of me to even think that. I said, so let's change it to living apart because she was already going to move out. She had her keys. She was 2 days from moving into this place when she did what she did. So it was almost like in spite of me to hurt me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she got what she wanted. It fucking sucked. But at the same time, I'm still talking to this other person who is like, it was so weird to be like so hurt, but then like feel such like happiness for someone new.
Yeah.
You know.
See, that's when it comes just to personal relationship and how you guys handle stuff. Because, like, for me and Sean, if we are getting divorced, we're thinking about getting divorced, like, if that decision has been made, that's it. Somebody's moving out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if we gotta go live with mom and dad. I don't care if brother and sister. Like, somebody moving out, we completely separate. Like, we severing ties as quickly as possible.
Do you feel it would be different if children were involved?
It might take a little bit longer of a process, just trying to figure out how to handle the kids. But it would still be a very clear, like, we got these kids together.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to work together to take care of these kids for the rest of our lives together.
Yeah.
But me and you are not together. We going to have to figure out our personal relationship.
See,
I agree with that because it would be hard for me to, like... Yeah, it'll be hard.
Once you're
like
in that situation, it's totally different.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it will be hard for me to stay with her and keep it as if like, oh no, man, we separated because the feelings are still going to be there. So I'm gonna be like, well, can we just work it out?
Even if you guys split up, it don't.
So if we split up, I would have to be like, well, we can't leave. I would be like, we can't live under the same roof. Like we can't. We can't.
You disagree on what?
I disagree on the feelings part.
What about?
You think after being with the man for as long as you've been with him?
Yes.
That you can
For me personally, I can. Yes.
If I cheated.
Yes. If it comes to the point where he did something bad enough to ruin our marriage and it had to come to the decision where we are not together no more, you done. You my past. Especially if we ain't got kids. Now, if we got kids, like I said, that makes it complicated because you have to deal with that person. But no kids. You done.
I'll be honest.
I'm moving on.
I believe you believe that. I don't think it'd be true. Just because, bro, you're so like you love him, right? You are in love with Sean. Okay. Even if he was to cheat and hurt you in a way that like was like unforgivable, and you split, and you're like, I can't believe you did it, because that is grounds for that, and you should be able to leave. I still don't think you'll be able to turn it off like that.
No, that love would turn to hate.
Hate is still an emotion that, like, it should be neutral.
It'd be an emotion every time I see him. I'd want to slit his tires.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. So he is still getting an emotion from you.
Yeah.
Still feel some type of way because of what happened.
Yeah, but it's not going to be
if you was to say
love.
If you was to say love turned to like neutralness. What's the opposite of love? Indifference. If you was to tell me love turned into indifference, I would be like, I believe you. But since you said love turned into hate, that is still such a strong emotion to have for somebody.
Yeah, indifference would take a long time.
Like indifference would be
especially if it ended on bad terms. Now, if it ended on terms where we were both like, this ain't working.
Yeah.
Then I could be like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna split things. You go your way. We're gonna figure this out and peacefully split.
If it wasn't cheating though, do you think you could like work? Like, could there be a time to reconnect?
I mean, there's not many things that could completely like just sever the connection.
But cheating is
definitely. So if it's like the point where it's getting to that, there's no coming back.
Gotcha.
There is no like, we're gonna get divorced now. We're gonna come back together later. Like,
right.
No, that's the nail in the coffin.
And I believe you in that state because women, I do believe once y'all are done, I believe y'all are done.
Yeah, I've done it with friends.
Like
when I call it quits, the friendships, we ain't friends, we done. I don't care 10 years later, we done.
That's true. That's true. Because even I question it. I'll be like, y'all was best friends. Like y'all, like
my daughters
y'all lived together.
Don't
y'all was like, I mean, couldn't nothing break y'all apart. Like I would think y'all was like blood, and then all of a sudden you just cut them off. I was like, what?
So,
but hold on, before we go to a different question for my wife. What would be some things that make it to be like, no, you done?
Besides
we
cheating?
Ain't never getting back together. Yeah, besides cheating.
Crack.
Okay, so if you caught me doing crack, so Archie said crack. So if you caught me doing crack, would you be like, you done?
First of all, I don't think the first time it would be a you're done.
She said you get one crack.
It'd be like a fight for sure, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and we can't fix that. Then like, if it continues,
that's funny. That's funny though, Archie said. Crack. That's a good one. Though. He said crack.
That was actually a shot at somebody. But...
So you caught me doing crack, but no, and realistically, like
bro,
in all
Archie's
honesty,
so fucking petty.
Other than cheating.
I mean,
I
don't know because it's hard to like
physical abuse.
First of all, you try physical abuse, you better be ready for something back because we're gonna both leave bruised up.
And I talk about. And I told her that too. I said if it ever came, I know you're about to say.
Can we talk about that?
If it came to a point where like we have to put hands on each other,
yeah, of course,
it's done. And we both agreed on that because I was like, I love her and care about her too much to like. Even if I get upset, I might say something like, "Man, I'll knock your ass out," but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do it. But if it came down to a part where that happened, then I'll
go back and speak on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we speak?
Yeah, go ahead. Bring it up.
So this is something I just brought up last night.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about this last night. Sean was talking like
this would be new to you, Archie.
It's kind of funny, but okay. So for one, right now we're recording in the Fort Smith Public Library, and we're doing this for a reason because we used to record at your home, and Tayler became uncomfortable with having. Well, not us recording, but once we started having guests, which is totally understandable. I get 100% where you're coming from. Why have people come to your house, get to a point that they think, like, oh, I'm comfortable. I can just, like, show up. No. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a day that we recorded, episode 3.
I think it was.
With Kendrick Green.
Okay, yeah.
You had told her this will be the last guest, and then, we'll find somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You come home. Kendrick's not there, by the way.
No,
so
he's not there anymore.
It's just me, you, and
Keandre, my cousin.
Key Money.
Yeah.
Who we referred to on the show.
Key Money.
Okay. We're in there. I can tell by the way the door opens. I don't know if you remember. I didn't even turn around. Because I can tell by the way the door opens and shut.
So she's not there yet.
Yep.
She's at work. I text her. I say, we're doing a podcast. We just finished up. I'm here. Keandre's here. Wes is here. And Kendrick is here.
Mm-hmm.
And then she texts me back like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
No, because first I asked, where y'all at?
Yeah.
And then you said you was at the house. And I said, whose house? And you said, our house.
Our house, yeah.
And that's when you was like, I thought you said y'all was done with. Like,
I don't even know if I responded after that. I left work.
She didn't respond.
I was home in like 10 minutes.
I
told everybody at work I had to go.
Yeah, I guess
I had something to do.
Okay, but yeah.
So let me get your point of view because I don't have your point of view.
Yeah.
So you were under the impression like guest was done at the house at this point.
Yes, because before the podcast even was started, before the microphone was even bought, and he told me he was thinking about doing a podcast, I told him that was fine, but I did not want people I didn't know coming over to my house. Because whenever the guests and things started before, like I said, it even got first recorded. I told him that. He's known since we've been together. I don't like strange people coming to my house. I don't like people showing up at my door that I don't know. Like, I don't even like my family just popping up at my house. Like, you come into my house, I want to know who it is, when you coming, why you coming.
That's true.
How long you going to be here, when you going to leave type.
So this is something that we have been going for years. This has been the rule. This has been the situation. Before the podcast started, I told him this. So then once the whole having people start come over, he is already aware of this situation. When the mention happened of, we're doing a podcast here, who's doing it? Oh, me and so and so and so. I said, not here. You're not doing the podcast here. We done been through this.
Right.
So my understanding was he knew for a fact he was not to be doing a podcast at the house with guests.
Okay.
So when he said he was still doing the podcast, my assumption at that point was either A, you're doing it somewhere else, or B, you're doing it at the house with no guests.
Got you. Okay.
So on the day of, and I get home, and he's like, oh, yeah, so-and-so is here. No, I was mad.
You forgot that I said that this was going to be the last one at the house.
That must have been the fine print in the conversation.
Okay. Well, the reason we're bringing this up is because...
That's why I was kind of like, when you came over and you was upset, that's why I kind of was like, Like,
Well,
what
for
you tripping
one,
for? Because I was like,
Sean didn't know what the fuck to do. He was scared shitless.
I wasn't scared.
This boy was scared.
I wasn't scared.
He was Chihuahua mode, shaking
No,
in the
I wasn't.
cold.
I wasn't scared.
He was scared.
Okay, but go.
Okay,
so you said
what,
I was scared. Okay.
So what? Okay, I'm playing. He wasn't like, but this is what happened. So I got my back to the front door. Key is facing the door. You're facing the door.
Yeah.
I hear it open. I hear it shut. And I even audibly said, "Uh-oh." And I was playing, trying to lighten the mood because I could tell the way the door shut, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then she, like, I guess you had looked up and smiled, and he was like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And she said, don't fucking play with me. I'll come over there and hit you in your face. And I was like...
See, I don't remember her saying that. You said she said that.
Bro.
She didn't, like, not say that she didn't say that, but I don't remember.
That was said first.
Okay.
And I'm editing. I'm, like, taking out the pauses and all that. I'm doing all the editing real quick. And then she says, I will come over there and break the laptop. And that's when I'm like...
say that.
Oh, fuck. Like, I get my hands off of it. I'm like, do I need to back the fuck up? Like, in that whole situation.
And then I started, like, smiling after she said that. Or I kind of, like, was
well,
like...
she went to the room.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at this point. Like, you was, like... You wasn't fucking with nobody being there. You, like... I could tell y'all was gonna, like, have a conversation, if not more, once we left. Like, it got to the point to where, like, Sean was like, hey, can you take my cousin home?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, bro, I guess, like... You alright? Like,
yeah,
I'll be alright.
Yeah,
like,
and we talked about it. The reason why I didn't think it was a big deal because, just like I said, I figured like she forgot that I said
this would be the last.
This gonna be the last one with guest over here. She said that I didn't say that, but I said that, so that's why I was thinking like it ain't a big deal. That's the only reason why I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, y'all can come over here,
right? And
like we can do this one right here because
you did tell us we had to end it before she got home.
Yeah.
And
I didn't do that on purpose. Like, oh yeah, let's hurry up and do it before like she.
No. It wasn't like no sneaky shit. It was just like out of respect for her.
Yeah,
let's make sure we're done.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think it was like a big deal. But then like after y'all left, like we had to talk about it.
She beat the shit out you, didn't she?
No, bro. No. She actually was more calm.
Did she hurt you?
No, yeah, she was actually more calm after y'all left.
I was in the room for a few minutes by myself.
No socks and no bruises.
Yeah, she was actually like more calm. And then like she explained to me because I was like, "Why you tripping or whatever?" And then she was like, "You already know." And she was like, "Why do I have to like explain or whatever?"
So was it just that? I always want to ask you. Was it just about Kendrick being there, or was it also me and Key being there?
No, because you had been to the house before. I knew you was going to be there doing the podcast stuff. I know you well enough that I'm comfortable enough with you being in my house.
Okay.
And Key...
No, you can't just pop up over there unannounced.
I ain't never done that. So
that's his cousin. I met him. We've hung out.
Right.
Same thing. He's been over to the house before. This Kendrick person... I don't know Kendrick.
Gotcha.
So what she's saying is y'all's first episode when I came over, she was like, "Yeah, this is done."
Well, I don't. Did you know that he even did the first episode?
Yeah, I was there when you guys did
she
that.
was. Okay, I thought we was only recording by you.
But even with Archie, I don't know him as good as I feel like I know you.
Right.
But we've been around him
outside.
enough.
Yeah, I got you.
So you cool?
That I feel cool with him being there. But you're talking about a person I have no idea who this person. I don't know what this person looks like. They could show up at my door and I'd be like, I don't know who you are. But they be like, oh yeah, I know so and so. I'd be like, I wouldn't know.
Kendrick got
come over
too, bro. Kendrick
shoot us up.
Kendrick.
Yeah. No joke. So with all that being said, we have an understanding now.
Well, I brought it up because the whole punch you in the face thing. Like,
yeah,
she said it, but not at any point in time was I ever like, she's really about to hit him. Like, it's like you said. It's
all right, man. I'm gonna just say it. She punched me in the face.
She punched me in my shit. She broke my shit. I couldn't go outside.
I mean, what do you do in that situation if you're over there doing a podcast and she's like, "No, I'm gonna fuck you up," and she does it?
I'll sit there and finish editing and left.
I mean,
like, Sean have been getting his ass beat. I'm just looking at the computer.
Well, I did tell her that. I was like, well, if you would have punched me in the face. I know. And I was like, and I even told her, I said, if you would have punched me in the face, oh yeah, for sure, that would have been the last podcast. But I was like, over here, and I was like, we probably wouldn't be together.
You would end it if she hit you one time?
Yeah. Like, if we just playing around or whatever, and she just kind of like, you know, like.
No, let's say you did something. I'm trying to let me think.
So the podcast. Let's say she came home everybody was still there.
Mm-hmm.
And she came home and she was like, I thought I told you not to have nobody over here. And then I played it off like, man, you tripping, man. We doing a podcast.
Well,
and
for
then
one,
she'd be like,
wouldn't do that. But for two,
I'm just saying,
this is hypothetical.
Yeah,
hypothetically. Yeah, she was like, yeah, I told you not to have people over here. And I just played it off like, man, yeah, whatever, we doing a podcast. And she was like,
and
oh, you think
that's
it's
part
funny?
of the
I'll
reason
punch you in
why
your
that
face.
sparked even more anger is the fact that he likes to act like he don't know what's going on, and he'll start that laughing and giggling like, what?
That's what he did.
Yes, and that's what pissed me off more than anything, because I know him enough to know he already knew what was wrong. So then he tried to act like
was wrong.
So he was trying to act like he didn't know what was wrong. That made me even mad, because that's another thing I cannot stand is when he lies to my face.
No. Or like he tries to like laugh at like your feelings type shit. Because he did. He really did, bro. When she came in, you laughed and smiled, and you was like.
And so did I? So did I say I will punch you in your face? Probably at that point, because that probably enraged me even more. So I probably did say. I can't say 100% that I said it, but I probably did. But I know I did say I'd break the laptop, and I would do that in a heartbeat.
She just said shit funny. Because the punch you in the face, I don't think got the reaction that like she wanted.
No.
So then it was like, I'll do something
more.
The
punch you in the face slipped. I try not.
Can you call Key?
I try not to say things like
Ask
that.
if he remembers.
Because I don't like to use those kind of threats, because those are serious threats. And if it's to a point where we're gonna get into physical altercation,
I don't think it was a serious threat though either. I think
no, but I try not to even say those kind of things.
Got you.
Because it's not cool to even say. But sometimes they slip out. I'm not gonna lie. I get angry and it slips out.
Hey, Keandre. Alright, so we recording another episode of our podcast. You remember the time when Taylor came over there and she had got mad because y'all was over there?
Yeah.
Did she say she was gonna punch me in the face?
Who said that?
Did Taylor say she was gonna punch me in the face when she came in the house that day? Cause she was mad because y'all was. Do you remember what she said? I'm just asking.
No.
You don't remember?
No, why? What's up? What happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm just asking because we're recording and we talking about that situation. And I'm asking.
I don't remember her saying. I remember she came in here slamming the door. She was like, she said she was gonna break the computer. I remember that. The laptop.
Yeah, she didn't say she was gonna hit me in the face though.
No, I ain't heard about that. I don't remember hearing about no face. I remember she said something about
laughing. Now that you said about him laughing, bro, that makes sense.
Do you think she was serious about it?
I don't know. She might. I don't know. Like, you know, it's so white, so you know what to eat. So I really don't know what she gonna actually do or not.
Okay.
She was mad. I mean, her face was red, and I remember she said something.
I didn't even look at you, so I don't know.
I remember her saying about touching nobody in no face. I was listening.
Okay. Well, that's all I wanted. I was just asking.
Your face was
bad.
Yeah, bro. She hit me in the face, bro. I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing.
Oh my god.
I'm just playing. She ain't hit me in the face. Nah. All right, bro. I'll get at you.
Okay. So
you made that up.
No, I didn't make it up,
bro.
I couldn't have said.
Was your face red?
Oh, it was definitely red.
Okay. I wouldn't even turn and look at her. I didn't see her the whole time. Well, I seen her out the corner of my eye when she walked to the bedroom. Other than that, I refused to look. Because your dumbass was laughing and smiling, and that's what pissed her off even more after the door got slammed. And I knew it did, because then you looked at me and you was like...
I did. Like, I think I do remember doing it.
Okay. Yeah.
I heard the story about she was going to choke some girl at Buffalo Wild Wings. Just showing me a picture.
We talk about that too. The little grandma that followed me to goddamn Buffalo Wild Wings. Cause Sean, dumbass.
Alright, so let's talk about that. So
let's talk about that. Because goddamn, I got enough problems in my life. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Alright. So I used to work at Lids in the Central Mall.
Oh, you gonna talk about it? God damn. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I used to work at the Lids in the Central Mall, and I'm not gonna say the person's name, but my manager that was there, had a thing for Wes.
Mm-hmm.
Wes didn't have a thing for her, but she had a thing for Wes.
Bro,
And
they
she
be having things for me, bro. I can't
and
help it.
she found out that me and Wes like going to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the fights.
How did she find that out again? I can't remember.
I told her.
Okay.
I told her because she was like,
"You." So she didn't find it out. It's not like she was digging in for some treasure and she found the map. You told her.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start out with from the beginning. So one day I come to work, and she was like, "You know what?" She said, "You know Wesley."
Yeah.
And I said, "Wesley." And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "The only person that I know that's Wesley," I was like, "I don't call him Wesley though. I call him Wes." Yeah. And I was like, "The only person that I know is one of my good friends that I used to work with at Popeyes." And I was like, "What's his last name?" And she was like, "You tell me." And I was like, "You trying to play some type of game or something?"
Like Smith.
I was like, "You trying to play some type of game or something?" And she was like, I was like, "This person," I was like, "Let me make sure this is the same person that I think you're talking about." I said, "What does he look like?" And then she showed me a picture, but she showed me like that the childhood picture. Yeah. It was y'all were in a classroom. Y'all were can't remember what grade y'all were in.
Cafeteria, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The cafeteria. And I
don't know how the fuck she had that picture for one.
And you still look the same. You look older now, but when she showed me the picture, I was like, yeah, that's Wes. So I was like, okay, so it is the same Wes that we're talking about. So I was like, Matthews. And she was like, yeah, or not Matthew, but I was like Johnson. I was like Johnson. I was like, I don't know, Johnson or whatever. And she was like, okay.
Marshall Matthew.
Yeah. And then she started to like tell me like, yeah, like I know him. You know, we talk or whatever, And I was like, okay. But but I was thinking she was lying because I was like, I don't think you know him like that. Like you're saying, like you talk to him, like call him and text him and stuff. I was like, I don't know about that. Sorry, I ain't trying to get you in trouble.
No, you good.
But like I was just like, this dude takes like 100 females.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know. So then like every day after that,
gonna start some shit.
No, so every day after that, this probably lasted for probably maybe 4 days. So 4 days after that, she would come in and she would talk about him. Like, yeah, how well do you know him? Do you think he cool? Like, do you think I got a chance? And I was like, I don't know. Like, you ask him.
Now, be honest. Yeah. Go ahead and be honest right now.
She didn't have no...
Trying.
Well,
you was trying to set it up, bro.
All right. So, I wasn't trying to set it up. But one day she was like... I did tell her, I was like, there's a fight going on this weekend. And I was like, me and Wes, we always go. And I was like, if you think you got a shot, I said, you should come. I did say that.
I don't know why the fuck you would tell this girl that.
I don't know why he would say that.
Because she was talking about him like every single day.
Because we've talked, me and Sean talked, and I told him, bro, don't tell that girl anything about me. Don't gas her up. Don't nothing. Did I not?
You did. Yeah, okay. You did.
I was like, because the stuff you're telling her is making her think
she
like, yeah, like.
There's more than there is.
Exactly.
And there was nothing that I really... So did she say that I said anything? Because there was nothing really told her
that like you... I won't say like you encouraged it, but you didn't discourage it. So...
She would just ask me questions like, do you think I got a shot?
And you wouldn't be like, nah.
I don't know.
Because Sean's too nice. So
I know.
And
so that's why I said, I don't know. And then she'd be like, so you think I got a shot? And I was like, I don't know. And then she was like, so yeah, y'all gonna go see a fight?
If you think you do.
Yeah, she was like, I'm gonna order some wings. Like, what type of wings do you like? And I was like, usually eat buffalo. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, so you like buffalo? And I was like, yeah, because that's what he.
And see that right there, you told her a complete opposite, trying to ruin it.
Yeah, so
you fucking shit up.
Yeah, so that I was saying stuff like that. So
now let's go to the day or the night of Buffalo Wild Wings.
All right. So the night of Buffalo Wild Wings, she gets there 2 hours before we did,
if not longer.
Yeah, actually, because it's always packed in there and it's hard to get seats.
I get there like 15 minutes early, trying to get the table.
No, she was there 4 hours.
Was it 4 hours?
No, like 4, not 4, but like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Texting me like, I'm here, I got us a table, and I'm like, what you mean you there? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, bitch. We ain't watching the fights till 9. Like,
yeah, okay. Oh yeah. She was there earlier today.
Fuck.
Yeah, because I got off. I think that night I got off around like 5:30 or 6, and she got off a couple of hours before I did, and she was like,
I'm
gonna make sure y'all get some seats.
You gonna make sure.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember that now, and I was like, you don't have to go right now, because I was like, the fights probably don't start until like 9, and she was like, oh no, I'll be there waiting on y'all. So yes, I do remember that. Man.
Okay,
right.
So we get there. I will admit that I knew she was there. She was telling me she was there. I'm going to go watch the fights regardless. I don't know of another place. At the time, I don't think another place did show the fights. We done had plans to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go. We do get the table. She's sitting next to me, whatnot. She had been there for so long. She is drinking. What?
Mm-hmm. She drunk. I don't even say tipsy. She's drunk.
Pretty much like hugging on me, and it's so not. I don't know how like y'all looked at it, but like for me, I felt so weird because I wasn't giving like anything back.
I can definitely tell.
Okay, see, I didn't know how it looked on the outside, and I just knew it felt like.
Because me and Taylor was laughing.
Okay.
So we knew that you was like.
Like I'm sitting here just how I am now, and like she's like.
I'm sure I was laughing the most.
Mm-hmm.
She's looped on my arm, and I'm just like looking straight, and like she's laying on me, and I'm just like.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't even know if she's there. Yeah. And I'm glad that y'all could tell that too, because that's the vibe I was trying to give.
Yeah.
She does this all night. Well, not all, she don't like hold on to me all night, but like just all night, a lot.
And I felt like she didn't realize that because she was drunk. But I felt like if she was sober, she would have been like, "Oh, okay, he don't even."
Wow.
I don't know.
What? What you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
What you think?
She wasn't that drunk.
She wasn't
that drunk. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah, she wasn't drunk.
Do you feel like she knew that he was kind of like, nah, man, like I ain't feeling it?
I don't know if that quite registered.
But you feel like she was
her actions were intentional.
Okay.
She was drunk enough to say that we let her drive home drunk.
She did say that.
Oh, yeah, because when we went to leave and everybody split their ways, she tried to make us feel bad, and I'm like,
she
did she stay and talk to y'all?
Yeah.
No, we left.
We left.
Yeah, I legit ran.
Yeah, you did, bro.
But
usually you would kind of hang around.
She tried to, like, make the comment, like, oh, y'all just gonna let me drive home. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, she tried to text me that shit. She said, y'all don't even care about
that. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't tell you to drink.
You
can't handle your alcohol, then don't drink.
Yeah, like, usually after the fights, like, we'll kind of, like, sit around for a little bit, like a little bit.
Well, there's been times we done it for like an hour, 2 hours,
Wes was gone. Like, soon as when it was over, I didn't even know that he had left.
He hit the side door, right? She's walking in front of us. By the time she turns around,
he's already across the parking lot. Bro.
Yeah, he's in the car already, bro. Dang near. And I was like, dang. I was like, he barely even said like bye. Like, all right, y'all.
I think I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, on the way. So then when she seen that, she was like, where'd he go? And I was like, he going. She was like, y'all leaving too? And I was like, yeah. She was like, I'm drunk. Y'all gonna make me like drive drunk or whatever. And then Taylor was just like, yeah.
I guess so.
I didn't hear to drink.
Yeah, man. But
yeah. Like,
so
I haven't drank in a while out there, but like when I do, usually I'm like, hey, pick me up.
Yeah.
He's gonna be my driver.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the part where you almost
yes, that's what brought this whole thing up.
Took her phone and chunked it across the restaurant.
Well, first of all, we have to backtrack like maybe 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah, get into all
that. We were out to dinner.
Yep.
And she had the nerve to make the comment to me about, oh, did Sean tell you I was trying to show him my pictures? And I was like, what pictures? I guess she had done some, how do you call it, boudoir, or how the hell do you say that?
Like, nude pictures? Like where you...
how do you say it? I can't say the word, but you know what I'm talking about.
I think it is. I think you almost said it right.
Boudoir? I can't really say
boudoir?
Yeah. Yeah, so she had done some pictures, I guess for her husband. Keep in mind she has a husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she had done this. So she has the nerve to ask me if my husband told me about how she was trying to show him her pictures.
Mm-hmm. Why would I?
And so my response was like, "Oh, so y'all all trying to get y'all's ass whooped tonight? Is that what it is?"
She did say that. She said so. It was at the Mexican restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we was at the Mexican restaurant, and I guess everybody thought I was playing that night. Wasn't playing.
No, I think she was probably the only one because. That next day, they was like, was she mad? They were like, was she mad? And I was like, yeah. And they was like, yeah, I would be mad too. They was like, why did she even bring that up? Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
So pretty much made it clear that night that that's just not
so
how we roll
like,
over here.
Okay. Was that just like y'all there? Like I was.
No, it was us, her, and like 3 other girls from Lids.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like a table of us.
Got you.
Yeah.
And in front of the table, she decides to ask me this
randomly though.
And I'm like, I don't know what kind of life you live,
does
but
she not pick up on social cues?
You do not want to start shit with me.
Yeah. This was random
because I will go out there and parking lot whoop your ass.
Yeah, like we were all there eating, having a good time. We wasn't even talking about that, and then like randomly she asked Taylor that, and I was like,
"You said she got wet after midnight." The gremlin joke.
And this is like, and I believe this is probably like the first time we ever actually like went out and sat down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why?
So when she says this,
why was she even?
Your response exactly is.
Yeah, I was like, so everybody trying to get their ass whooped tonight.
Yeah.
And I looked directly at her when I said it.
Did she not pick up on it?
She didn't have nothing to say after that. And then the other girls, they were just kind of like looking like back and forth at each other. They didn't know what to say. And I don't know what I said after that. But pretty much I made it clear that no, like we ain't playing that shit. So here we are now, a couple weeks later, at Buffalo Wild Wings. Done made it clear, like, don't be trying to show Sean no fucking pictures, like, whatever you and your husband got going on, keep that shit over there, because our relationship don't include
I didn't
y'all.
see the picture, by the way, so, sorry to cut you off, but let's go back to that. So, she, at work, she did try to, it's
the boudoir picture?
Yeah. Okay. So, she brings it to work, she got it developed, it's blown up, she got it, like,
framed. Why the hell are you bringing that to work?
Size as that picture right there behind it.
That one. I got something else to talk about.
A little bit bigger than this. Probably about the same size as this.
Like, that's sexual harassment right
So
there.
she brings it in, and she's like, it's me and the other 3 associates is there. I'm the only guy, and it's other 3 girls, so it's a total of 4 of us, but I'm the only guy. So she brings it in, she's like, y'all want to see, like, the pictures I got developed? And then I'm like, I really didn't want to see him anyway, because the girls were like, well, what type of pictures? And then I guess whatever it's called. And then she was like, yeah, we're all naked. That's what she said. She was like, I'm fully naked. And when she said that, I was like, I'm good. And then I walked out. No, I didn't, because she ain't attractive anyway. But anyway, like, I was like, I'm good. So I walked out, and then she showed him. And then, like, the girls was like,
I wanted to say, I want to tell the part of
but
this that y'all don't know so bad.
But yeah, so then, like, fast forward, all that other stuff happened. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Anyway,
so,
first warning had been given.
Yep.
So we're sitting there. Supposedly she's drinking. I don't know how good her alcohol tolerance is. Whatever.
I don't think she was as drunk as she was playing.
She was actually. I don't think she was either. No. Because them damn drinks ain't that strong.
No.
Unless you just
she didn't even drink the woman. It was like, okay.
Yeah. So anyway. So then she has the nerve to turn her phone towards us.
Yeah.
And the only thing I see is what looks like a girl's bottom half in like some panties.
Yep.
So as soon as I seen that, I grabbed for the phone. Luckily, she must not have been too drunk because she pulled it out of my reach. But if I got my hands on the phone, it would have been broke.
Yeah, she literally tried to take the phone,
first
rip it out of her hand, and throw it across the restaurant.
Now think about it. This is the person who is like supposedly like in quotations on a date with me doing this dumb shit. Like I would never condone. I would never condone this shit. And she's just making this so awkward.
Yes. And again, it wasn't like she was pointing and talking to me like, oh, look at this, like girl to girl. No, it was more like towards Sean, but just enough to where I could see it. And that's why I'm like, you already had one
morning. And then
kind of
find out it wasn't, it was a man, wasn't it?
That's what she said. Which I was like, I don't give a shit what it is. I'm like, you don't need to be showing him any kind of pictures of any kind of panties or anything.
So... I want to talk about this. The outfit that she had on. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, don't even.
I want to bring this up since Archie's here. She made the claim. She wore this to work.
Yes, I witnessed it because I went up there that day.
Okay, so she wore this all day in the mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Had the nerve to text me or call whatever she did and was like, "Is Archie going to be there tonight?" And I said, "Maybe." Like. That's my brother. He comes out, most of the time. And she said, well, I just wanted to make sure because I don't want to wear this if he's going to be there. And I was like, the thing you're in the mall? Yeah. I was like, the thing you're in the mall with everybody seeing and then Sean going to be there? Like,
But see, I went up there today, so I seen what she had on. She had the nerve to ask me, like, is this going to be a problem? And, like, kind of open up her shirt. And I was like, I don't know who's going to be a problem for, because Sean ain't going to be looking down at you when he's looking up to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got brought into this at all. Like,
I can't remember why either, but
yeah, it was weird because when we was at work, she told me that she texted you and that she was like,
so weird.
Yeah, she was like,
well,
I just text Wes and asked if this would be inappropriate, and I was like, what do you mean?
And I'm like, if you think it's inappropriate, maybe you shouldn't be
Archie
wearing
might come.
it.
You think Archie might?
If you gotta ask for like, why are you already wearing it at work for one?
So I don't know if this is like just a insecurity thing, like trying to show. Because I'm like, first of all,
I was just about to say, do you remember the walking out? Do you remember walking out? I know I told Sean.
Yes.
I work with her, bro. So I already knew.
Look. I hate to be petty like this, and I hate to put people like business out there.
No, we already talking about
it,
bro.
Bro, like she did something to me that. I felt like I should have called the cops.
Did you see it? That
bitch was hanging on by a wish. That motherfucker.
So she already has like thin hair because her hair falling out, right? Like
we don't even go into all that.
I guess she has some type of condition to where like it made like her hair fall out. So she likes to wear a weave, but she don't have enough hair to even like because I guess with weave. You have to have some hair to attach the weave on to, right?
That's me. That's y'all's thing.
That's what I'm thinking. But she doesn't have enough hair to even like attach like the weave to. So when she puts it on, you can still, you know how there's a track in it? You can still see, it looks like the weave is on her scalp.
We ain't got to do it, Sean. I don't know what you're doing, bro.
You can still see like the track right here.
We ain't got to
like
too much.
When she went out that night, it was hanging by. Like if you go... it will fall off. Literally, like all you got to do is go, and it will fall out because.
But I feel like we don't get negative karma now.
No,
like, you doing a lot,
bro. Yeah. I'm just saying. This the 50-50 podcast.
It's 50-50, and we ain't giving a fuck. But we doing a lot. Ain't
no capping on here,
being
bro.
Fucking messy.
We being real.
I just don't know why me showing up to watch a fight had anything to do with it.
It shouldn't have, and it didn't. I think she was...
Well, it's just like why she approached me asking if what she was wearing was going to be a problem over here. And I'm like, ain't nobody worried about you. Trust me. If he wants to leave me for you, you can fucking have him.
Yeah, well, Archie, I don't know. Maybe she felt like... Archie, you was gonna be like,
no, I can't. There's something that
what's she wearing?
I can't remember. Something happened with Archie. I don't know if you had liked something or you commented on something, and she took that as like, oh, you know, Archie is like looking at me. I'm like, hey, Archie ain't fucking looking at you either. Listen, look, something happened, and I'm gonna touch on it real quick to where she was like, I want to come over, and I was like, no. Eventually, she just kind of showed up one time, and I go out to this car to like sit and talk to this person, and she basically strips when I get in the car, and I make eye contact with her the whole time. Like I'm just like this, like, and she is like nothing.
Were you enjoying it, bro?
I was not looking at anything, bro. Like I was, that's wild. Man, that's crazy. And like, I've never met somebody that couldn't pick up on social cues as much as this person.
Yeah, like
I'm not feeling it. Yeah. And then after that, like after the whole Buffalo Wild Wings thing, I think that's when I was finally like, look, I'm not doing this. Like I'm not even gonna like be civil or like kind or like sugarcoat it. I was like, don't fuck with me. And she's like, I'm gonna come over. And I said, I'll punch in your fucking forehead.
Did you mean it?
If she would have knocked on my door, I would have opened the door, I'd punched in the forehead, and I'd shut the door.
Well, I told her, and you probably know, remember, because you had texted me, you was telling me about it, and I was like, bro, like, she's trespassing.
You told me
shoot
her.
I was like, yeah, that's what I said. And I even told her that because she told me that she had came over there, and I was like, bro, I'm surprised he didn't shoot you.
I ain't got a gun for one.
I know, but I'm just saying that. I was like,
I'd have definitely hit her at this point. Because at this point, I'm making it clear, like, please stop harassing me.
Yeah, because she told me, she was like, I don't think he wanted me to come over there because she showed me the text message. She was like, he told me like not to come over there, and I was like, and you went over there anyway? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, after he told you
basically
not to,
parked outside, was like, I'm here, and I'm like,
I was like, bro, I would have shot her.
And the only reason I went outside because I was 100% sure if I did not go outside, she would to knock on my door with my kids in the house.
They'd have been like, Dad, who's that?
And I'd have been like, get it, girls! Like, beat that bitch! I don't know.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm sorry for, like, someone else who's listening to this. Like, I just want you to know, like, I didn't want no part of that. Like, Sean messy.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be messy. Nah,
Sean messy.
If you are listening, he wasn't trying to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm making a big joke about it, but
no, I think she's gonna know, bro. When I want to be a part of something, it's very clear. You're gonna know it, and I don't know how that girl didn't pick up on like I'm not feeling this. I don't want this, but yeah it was weird.
Yeah, that was super weird.
That track, bro.
I felt uncomfortable for you, bro. Yeah, bro, it was hanging on by.
This shit is hanging on by like your nipple hair, bro. That motherfucker.
Man. Like if you blow, I'm surprised it didn't fall out, bro.
Did you have said something?
Yeah.
Would you picked it up and like?
I don't know if I would have picked it up. I don't know if I would have picked it up, but I would have pointed out and said, "Hey, your track fell out.
Your hair on the ground.
Your track fell out." But yeah, man.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay.
You messy.
So, do you have any other questions about interracial?
We totally got off that topic.
Yeah.
I did have a bunch. In society, have y'all experienced, like, I don't necessarily want to ask about looks because I'm sure that's a given, but has anybody like audibly said anything to y'all ever? Has it ever been like? No, Archie.
No one's ever said anything that, like I said, at least to me or anything. But looks for sure.
Yeah, see, I knew looks.
My ex-wife went back to my hometown.
I mean, maybe when we first got together, but I don't know.
That one lady that said, like, you shouldn't be dating him.
Who?
Yeah, I didn't like he would.
Who?
Is he your grandma? Or your aunt?
Oh.
She said, "Oh."
It might be mine. It might have been
you shouldn't be dating him.
But we ain't gotta say if you don't. Yeah, we ain't gotta get into it.
My bad.
She might. Oh,
that's you and her, bro. Don't tell me my bad.
I'm pretty sure she died.
I ain't the one getting beat up.
She died. You was like, it don't matter because she did.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%.
Okay. She died because she said that.
Okay.
I can't remember 100%. I mean, if it was one of those things that was said, it's something that I brushed off anyway. So.
Okay. Well, see, I asked y'all this because I had a few instances where, when I was younger, like junior high, I dated this girl. I was giving her a ride to band practice at Darby on my moped, and like there was a truck full of black dudes who like got beside us or whatnot, or like we was at a light maybe, I can't remember. Either we were driving or parked at a light, and they was like, "What you doing with him? Like, you should be like with me." These are grown men, by the way, talking to like this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And we're young, bro. Mm-hmm. Like we're way too young for them to be talking to her like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't know, to feel just to like feel the need to say something like that when you see that. For one, they don't even know if we was like dating. Maybe I'm just like giving her a ride.
Right.
You know, we kind of was dating, but like they didn't know that. And then at Kimmons even, like I used to date this girl, and I know you're gonna know who she is. I type her name. I won't say it, but people would
say stuff about it.
I'm trying to think how to word it. Like black men or kids at the time would have comments to say about it, and it would be like, "Oh, you shouldn't be fucking with that white boy. Like,
yeah,
you should be fucking with like me or something like that."
Yeah,
and it's just it is what it is.
So from my perspective, with me being African American, I think that's so stupid. Yeah. Actually, yeah. But I think that's stupid. I think a lot of stuff has changed now because you see more of like interracial couples now, and not just black and white. You know, it's been, you know, all kinds. You know, but anybody that still thinks that goes back to what I said at the beginning or earlier on the podcast, like
just closed-minded,
the closed-minded,
mindedness.
Yeah, man, they stuck in like the old.
Do you think
ways.
It ever changes? Like,
I mean, I think it will change. The reason why it will change because you see more interracial couples now. You know, and it's starting at like I think it all starts at a young age.
mm-hmm.
You know, because you're going to school together, so you know.
Eventually, those older generations who believe in that are going to be gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And this younger generation that we have now is pretty much like everything goes for them. So
yeah,
they're going to be raising the next generation. So
and I'm gonna be honest with you, in a very very long time, I think
it'll be
positive. You think so?
Well, like
what she just said.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. Like this younger generation is going to be raising the next generation, and like this younger generation is a little like, I don't know. I mean, come on, man. Like
it's different, man.
Brother eating Tide Pods and shit, just like
I think they're
they don't know nothing about that.
But they will grow up, and we can't judge them as children and think that they will continue that into adulthood. But you also can't dismiss it completely because
dismiss what?
Their actions of like their youth.
Oh, okay.
Like just the dumb shit. But I did dumb shit as a kid. That if
I think this dumb shit's on a whole nother level.
Well, we didn't eat Tide Pods.
For one, it's
we shot
media.
bottle rockets at each other, knowing you get hurt
to
with
me,
that.
Like that's pretty wild. Like people could like lose eyes and shit.
Yeah, people do that, but we
was smart enough not to lose eyes.
We didn't.
I get that, but I'm talking about like the black and white stuff.
Yeah, no. I think that's gonna slowly go away as soon as all the
all this other stuff. Yeah, which y'all just talking about Top 5.
That's gonna be
There's still too many little towns, and the culture's still gonna be there. It's not going to change.
That's another thing I was just about to say. Yeah, because yes, we do have the older generation who have a problem with it are still currently raising people. And if they don't branch out their small town, they're going to keep that small town state of mind. And then they're going to grow up keeping it and give it to their kids. And so we will have small towns like Southall by that even though like there are black people there, it's still probably going to be like frowned upon. Like you probably still hear N-word lover like daily in these towns. Like it may not be like 2 people, but it's probably said.
What would your reaction be if someone said N-word lover?
I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, see.
I mean, I don't really care. Now, if you come up to my face and start trying to say something, then it's probably going to turn into an altercation. But if you standing like feet away from me and you say it and you just want to sit over there and talk, I'd be like, go on, I got better things to do with my day.
I feel the same way with that.
Okay, yeah, I do.
For one, especially if I don't know you, I don't I don't value your opinion.
But if you coming up to me, approaching me, and I don't know you, and you already talking stuff, then I'm assuming you coming for something.
Yeah. And vice versa, they'd be like, why are you dating that white woman? I'd be like, or married to her.
I was like, you cracker smacker.
I'm like, yeah, we smacking that. Yeah. I mean, because no, in all honesty, I make those type of stuff like out of jokes. Unless you're using that to like, you know, you're trying to come at me and you're trying to disrespect me or something like that.
I think it's best to use it as a joke at that time.
Then I'm like, oh, okay. But it's just words. But if you like put your hands on me, then that's something different.
Well, that's
but
a situation.
When people like say that type of stuff, I'm like, yep, you're right. Like I make a joke out of it.
Okay, so let me go back to
that's being real. I always try to make because it makes them look stupid.
It does, and it also takes the power away from them.
Yeah.
Once you start. Like, if they're using one word, let's say it's, let's just say stupid, just to be safe. Let's say they're calling you stupid. And, like, you can turn that into a joke and laugh. You have now taken power away from their one word that they had against you. And now they're like, fuck,
Yeah,
I don't
know,
now.
and that's actually happened before.
That's the
like,
smart way to do it.
They
really,
have,
though.
and like they'll be like, "Oh, like
Yeah.
he's not offended. He's not offended by it."
They'll usually try to resort to something else. They'll call you other slurs or like they'll try, and that's when you know you won. Mm-hmm. Once they start just throwing everything at you, and you're just like, "Oh, you're big mad, ain't you?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh.
Yeah. They'll be like, yeah, and they'll get mad. They'll be like, whatever, and they'll just walk away.
That's what you hit them with. Okay,
but yeah,
I want to go back to the age gap because with the person I'm talking to, there's an age gap too.
What's the gap?
The gap is
like 12 years.
Shut the fuck up, see, the motherfucker talking shit, bro.
You older or she older?
She's older. There's an age gap of 5 years, and she talked about from the Chloe episode. Chloe was like, "Damn, you old as fuck talking about me," and I was like, "Yeah." She tries to joke around, and she's like, "Oh, you think I'm old?" Age gap. Back to that. I don't know. I don't even think about it, to be real with you. Like, so I could see how like that wouldn't even have been a thought process for y'all, especially if you're feeling somebody.
I think it really comes down to like you said, when you look at somebody you don't know their exact age.
True.
Some people age a lot better than others.
And it's like you're like
so
holding
it's
a
like
5-year-old's
unless you can
hand,
look at somebody and be like, well, they're probably in their like 20s, and this person's in like their 70s. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, you're really not gonna know. So it really.
What if you find
matter.
out later? Let's say however long. Let's say you find out later, and you be like, "Oh dang, she was 16," and you're like 22.
Well, then
do you
probably
do you stop and be like, okay, I can't.
Probably gonna worry about
we can't continue this relationship. Do you
jail.
say that? No, I'm asking you. Do you continue the? Let's say.
No, you can't.
You can't.
No. Unless like.
There's people that has. Though.
But if you do, that's taking a very big risk because if you get in a fight and somebody wants to be petty, they can ruin your entire life because they're childish and petty at that age.
Technically,
there's people that have.
Okay, hold on, let me say this. Technically,
there's people that's done that to people, just been childish and petty and ruined a person's life because the relationship didn't turn out how they wanted it.
Yep. Yeah, technically, there was a point in time to where like I was either 18. Maybe just turned 19, but I was talking to someone who was 17, almost 18. And even that to me, I was like, ooh, if she ever was to like you just said.
Yeah, because at that age, you young, you childish, you petty.
Like
you can say you an adult, but maturity level is like, pretty low.
Thankfully, she was cool and like she actually pursued me. And like even when I found out her age, I was kind of like, damn. You know, like she was out of school though. She was working, so like it was kind of hard to be like, no, I can't just because you're like a few months from 18 or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I don't know.
You know, I even brought her back around years later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, have you had any situations like that, Archie?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had any situation like that where you like?
I know one, but
you liked the girl and you was like, dang, but she younger than me.
Hold on.
Illegally, I can't like.
Hold on.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Okay.
So
generally, I mean, the youngest I've ever been with is like a couple years, but I do like older females as well.
How older?
I've only dated someone who's 5 years older than me, but I've been with people where there's an age gap.
10. What's the highest age gap you've ever fucked with? Don't lie. Like, and I don't mean dating. I mean like even just like slept with.
20 years.
What? Okay.
Go Archie.
Damn.
Go Archie.
I was 18. She was 38.
Go Archie. And see, if this was flip-flop, though, if this was a girl sitting here, I'd be like, damn, I'm sorry. But go Archie.
Yeah.
Why do you think that, though? Like that? I guess you call it like that double standard.
It is a double standard.
Like, you'd be like, okay.
She had, her oldest child was a year younger than me.
Did he know you? Did he know you? He'd be like, you in there trying to talk to my mom, bro?
Like, it's weird because, like, here people know each other like this.
Yeah.
Like where I'm from, you're from a county or an area, like so. There's only like I think my entire county has 40,000 people, which is smaller than Fort Smith.
Mhm.
So you don't really know a lot of people.
Okay. Hey. We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
So I do got a question for you, Archie. Which is I didn't know this until that day we were at Buffalo Wild Wings. I didn't know, but I guess your child's mom,
Mm-hmm.
her brother, Lee,
Mm-hmm.
that used to be my best friend. Like this was back in.
That's so crazy that I kept forgetting to like connect those dots.
And like I never knew that until you actually showed me a picture of you two together, and I was like, I know her, and I was like, how do I not know you?
Yeah.
Because like me and Lee, we like literally hung out every single day. Like he spent the night over my house, I spent the night over his house.
Well, see, I wasn't here back then either though. Like
Okay. So
I met her when I moved back down here, and then she was working with Wes's cousin at the mall, and I was just kind of like, "Well, go for it."
Yeah. Because we stopped being friends because I think he went to Roland, and because he was still going to school in Oklahoma.
Right, he was always cool as a thing. I don't get like the whole
us not knowing each other either.
Well, that too, but then like Lee's situation, like that's just wild to me to think like somebody could snap.
Yeah,
I think his was maybe drugs too.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay, go back.
My mom still does. You probably know my mom then, because my mom Eugenia. She has her own. She has multiple shops, but she's a hairstylist here in Fort Smith, and I've went over there before, and I've seen Kelly over there. Like I don't know if I might have seen your daughter over there maybe once or twice, but probably just didn't know that was your daughter.
Yeah.
But like I'm pretty sure she's probably done your daughter's hair
Such
before.
a fucking small world.
And like I never know until you actually show me that picture that day, and I was like, what? Like.
The degrees of separation between people around here is crazy. Like the fact that like me and you, like we talked about in the last episode, somehow we had to be in the same locations at points in time and just have no recollection of it.
Remember how we said about the last on the last
That's
episode?
What I'm saying. Yeah, it's like, weird.
We've talked about stuff, and you can literally be like, yeah, I was there.
This happened.
At this time, and I'll be like.
It's crazy.
How did we not see each other?
Even like me and him, he's like, "You remember so and so?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, I don't." I went to so many schools and stuff too. Yeah. Like it was.
I did the same thing. I bounced from school to school.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like a whole lot of elementaries for sure, and then like Kimmons to Salisaw, like back to Kimmons, back to Salisaw, like type shit. Oh, speaking of a whole race thing, bro, get this. Yeah. So, white, of course, I'm white, going to Salisaw, predominantly white place. I got shit as if I was black. You would think I was black the way I was treated and talked to. Like, and gotten this. That's the reason I dropped out of school, because all I was going to school to do was fight. I'm talking about, like, I wouldn't even get in the building. Like, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd be fighting.
Because they were saying, like, you think you're...
That, and just, like, I didn't fit in with the whole, like, country. I don't know.
Do you think you fit in more with African Americans?
I recently talked to somebody, and it is a black girl who was, like talking about childhood and stuff. And she was like, yeah. Because she was talking about a time that I was talking about her ex, and I said, damn, it sounds like you still love it. And I said it, and I said so, like, just like off the cuff. And like back then I did, like, And she was like, and it was so weird because it even hit until after you left that I was like, damn. Like, it was so, like, natural.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was weird, but I don't know how to answer that. Do I fit in more with African American? I don't know. I can fit in anywhere, to be real. Like, I can be a chameleon and just be fucking...
I think I can fit in anywhere, too.
So, like, a KKK rally, you think you could just, like...
Well, I mean, of course not that, but I'm just saying, like...
I can't fit in with old white men, I'll tell you that. I can't. Because once they start saying, like, N-word this and N-word that, and I'm telling you, bro, it happens. That's like... We've had this conversation about, like, they were so comfortable with being so racist, so openly, that they see white people and they automatically assume you're going to think the same way I do.
Yeah.
And they start talking shit. And you got to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So when I say I feel like I can fit in anywhere, I've been in, like, business meetings, like, with, like, bosses and stuff, like corporate managers and stuff, and I'm like the only like black person, and like I felt like
a work environment is much different though. You was out somewhere and you're in a room full of nothing but white people. You're gonna feel uncomfortable, like I would if I was
you in Sallisaw on the back roads and y'all are like at a tailgating type thing.
All right, so this is real life. So the first time I actually went to my wife's house, she stayed in Bonanza. It was off of Riddle Creek, right? Ain't it called Riddle Creek Road?
Yeah, it's not Bonanza though.
Well, where's it at?
Hackett, ain't it?
Hackett. Well, Hackett. Yeah. Well, you got to go through Bonanza to get to Hackett. So my very, very first time going there, I was scared for my life. So
I'm scared going to fucking Hackett.
When you go into Bonanza, that little that gas station right there, right across the street, I guess that's like a police station.
Yeah.
So I had to stop. So
you're talking about Hackett or Bonanza? Two different places.
Going into Bonanza.
Oh yeah, that's just like a little gas station.
Yeah, so I had to stop there to get some gas on my way to her house to go to Hackett because she stayed in Hackett. But I had to stop there to get some gas. And, like, I had to because if I didn't stop, I wasn't going to make it to her house. Yeah. And I was scared, bro. Like, I'm not going to even lie.
Was a bunch of white people out?
Well, it was dark.
Oh, okay.
And it's a town where I don't know where I'm at. And I'm thinking of the name. I'm like, it's a white town. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And I'm like,
no, I'm black. It definitely is a white.
If I stop here, bro, they're going to be like, what are you doing here? But, like, I go into the gas station or whatever, and I'm like, I'm like, can I get 10 on car out there, white car out there? And, like, the look, I'm just thinking, I don't know, maybe it could have been me. I don't know if, like, maybe they were looking at me like that, but, like, they were like, they didn't even say nothing. Like, I just gave them, like, the money, and they were just like,
no.
And I was like, oh. Mm-hmm. So then on my way, like, to your house, I'm thinking, like, I'm driving, like, man, like bro, like,
I'll turn around.
If I get stopped, or, like, because I'm going pretty fast, and there's a police station right over there anyway, so I'm like, man, like, I don't know if I'm going too fast. I don't want to go too fast. I don't want to go too slow, because I'm like, man, if they pull behind me and see that I'm African American, they gonna and I'll be like, oh crap. And then like she has like little roads that go like this where you gotta get to, and I'm like, oh my god, man. So like, yeah, I was scared. Man. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I was scared. I probably never told her that, but
that's understandable.
Reality, I'm like, man, I was
scared,
bro.
It is.
Yes.
Is it though?
See, okay.
For no reason to be scared, just because you went to a gas station and somebody didn't say hello.
It's not that. No. It's not that.
I'm not gonna go hang out in Memphis.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not that. See, like,
would you feel comfortable going to like?
All right. So when we went to Little Rock,
Little Rock that day.
And like I had like my necklace and stuff on. We went to like the box.
Because everybody knows Little Rock is a high crime city.
You said, man, don't turn over there.
Like there's a lot of crime up there.
Hold on, this is true.
And then you want to turn into a sketchy ass car wash with people sitting out there in their cars, looking like they having a meeting.
Yeah,
And then as
that's
soon
what she
as we
said.
pull in a bright white new car, they turn and look.
It was like
Now that's a sketchy situation.
Yeah, and then when we was actually in the gym at the boxing match or whatever, you was like, "You got that necklace on," and I was like, "I just want to wear my necklace or whatever." And then you was like,
no, it was
"All
like
right, man."
you
You was
being
like,
out and about.
you was like, "Man,
That's
like,
the
and I was
whole
like,
thing.
why can I like wear jewelry
In
That's
LA.
out
different too,
anywhere?"
because like I'm gonna go to rock, and I don't feel
Have you been to Little
unsafe.
Rock many times?
Go to rock, go to the rock.
Okay. Well,
Do
see,
you
for
feel like
somebody, if
certain
you go
ways?
to
Other
a
cities
place
and
you've
stuff.
never been, the first time,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Think about your house for him. It was your first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's out in the
Whoa,
it's
me
just like the
driving.
woods.
That's scary as
bro.
fuck.
I guess.
That's scary as fuck.
You gotta be.
No,
I'm pretty
scared.
sure if me and you, Archie, was driving over there, you'd be like, "Where we going?"
I'm gonna be like that myself.
Yeah.
It's like,
You would be like, "Where we
the fuck
going?"
we at?
Yeah, and then you
But
would
you
be like,
wasn't alone.
Because
Okay?
it was like that going to
So,
Oklahoma to before.
so let's reverse that. You weren't alone when you was like coming down there. I was with you.
"No, I'm talking about
I mean,
when
she
my
was
first
out
time
there too,
driving
you know
to
what I
your
mean?
house,
Like,
like by
it's like-
And it
myself
was like
in that white car,
gravel road.
My Aunt Karen's like white car.
so okay. Our next guest we plan for the 11th is going to be Sick Goon
Okay.
and his girl.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wants to go by her real name or her stage name. We'll ask her when she gets here, so I don't want to say anything now. But her friend lives in Muldrow that me and Archie know well.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing, she lives like out there. And like us even together, like riding out here,
Going out there.
we was like, what the fuck? Cause like it's just pitch black, dirt roads, like houses is miles in between. Like you know it's country, so you know everybody got a shotgun by the door probably. It's scary.
Yeah.
That shit ain't no fucking joke. Like
You ain't never felt that way.
we felt that way together. We was like, what the
so were you
fuck?
like kind of like, oh, there's some black people here, or like just like
It wasn't even about black people. I was
But
more
That's
scared
one thing.
about
I don't
fucking
think it's
country
about
people.
the race thing.
Yeah,
It's just
no,
being in
it
a
is
place
true.
that you don't know. You don't know what to
bro.
expect. You don't know
It's-
the type of people that
Because
hang
we
out
were
in that
going.
For me,
place.
it's
I mean,
race, bro.
technically, we were
I'm
going to go
gonna
see
be
a
real.
black girl, but she's
I'm
like
gonna be real.
But
it's a
see,
white
For
family.
me, it's race.
but
I'm
you
being
got
real.
two white people going to see a black person out in the country.
Well, maybe for them it's probably different because they're not African American. But for me, I'm gonna
But they
put it
were
out
still
there.
scared to go out there
It'd be like going
together.
to my hometown. Like you could go there, you're gonna get looked at, but there's gonna be a few other black people there.
Yeah.
Same
And
thing with South Side and shit like that. That's
Yeah,
what's
and
weird.
you mentioned Memphis.
You're not gonna have to worry about watching your background because ain't nobody gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be uncomfortable in that situation. And that's what we're trying to say. Like, no matter what, you can feel comfortable with certain people, but
Yeah.
you get into another group, you're gonna be like,
Yeah, because you
shouldn't
can
be
feel
here.
it. It's all about a feeling. It's not like if you're worried about if they're gonna do it or not. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like
That's
that
what I'm saying.
feeling.
I don't feel like it goes
Because
back
it
to
goes
race.
off of
Then it
vibes.
goes just the environment.
Well, okay,
What-
so let's say you mentioned Memphis.
Well,
Let's
y'all
say
know
you go
there's-
to Memphis and like a real like rough part that's like mostly African Americans, and there's usually no Caucasian or white people there. So I'm pretty sure. Would you feel?
Yes.
I'm acting Arch. Would you, or you would too?
Yes.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
so would you be like, oh, okay, something about the
Until
pop
somebody
off?
came up and talked to me, and I would be
we
like,
went out there for 2 weeks, or I did for work.
yeah.
We stayed in Mississippi, but we were working in Memphis. I mean, just going outside on your break and the cops driving by and you hear the gunshots and stuff. We're in a business area. Like, it's not far away.
That goes back to the high crime.
Do you feel that way just
Yeah.
because of like the area? Or do you feel that way as far as like
Just the environment.
just the
Yeah.
environment?
But that's what I'm saying. It's
Okay.
more about the environment,
There
not
goes-
For
necessarily
me,
the race.
it's I don't
Okay,
know.
so
For
you
me, it's
being
race.
black,
man.
if you go into an area that you know is a high crime area, it's mostly black people. Just because you black, you gonna feel comfortable going in that area? Because
I feel
I'm
more
black,
comfortable.
they black.
Don't lie.
You
Tell
don't
me,
lie.
You probably
So
would
don't
feel
lie.
a
I
little
probably
comfortable.
would.
I would feel
So
more
if I'm
comfortable.
if I'm in an
Exactly.
African American area and I see them with guns and stuff, and I know something is probably gonna go down, I probably would be like, man, I feel more comfortable going over here
But
than like
keep
going.
in mind, you would also stick out because you don't dress the way most black people in gangs dress. They got like all the chains, their pants
Just
sagging.
like
Blue
just like
stuff.
Archie when I came in here,
I'm
Archie
just
said
saying,
you got all that blue
you
on.
got on this Jordan, like bright
Archie already
white,
said
like
you got all that
you
blue
gonna be
coming.
seen from a mile away. That's gonna make you stand out. That's gonna put a target on you.
So why should it even matter if I got a color on?
Because you're not gonna blend in. It's like going into a dark room and you wearing the brightest colors. Everybody gonna automatically look. So if you going into a high crime area in a brand new car,
The car,
you gonna stand
I
out.
get the car.
All right, so
But your
so
clothes
if
and stuff
I know
will
I'm
make you
going to
stand
that
out.
environment and it's like colors matter, then I'm not, and I know it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna wear like the opposite color.
What if you
I'm gonna
did wear the
blend
opposite
it.
color and they came up and they was like, "Yo, what's up, cuz? What you doing with all that red on?" Would you be like, "I don't even bang," or what? Like,
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I'd be like,
You'd be
man, I
like,
ain't here for that.
I don't even need this damn shirt.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not. To be honest, I wouldn't know what I would do, but I do know that I would say, "No, man, I ain't banging."
Yeah.
And if they be like, well, if you want to be around here, bro, you gotta take that off, bro, or something will happen. I'll be like, I'll be like, all right, I would, but if I know them
Bro,
or
my
whatever,
dumbass is probably gonna get shot.
you would take your stuff off, bro.
Because
what are we gonna do? Like, you look at me, what do I got on right now?
I say money green or camo green.
That's just looking at my appearance.
Yeah.
Then you start looking at what's on your body.
But I know kind of what he's referring to too, and I think it's a dead giveaway, and I think it wouldn't be good in a certain situation. Look at his arm. Like
UK.
Mm-hmm.
University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay. What's University of Kentucky's colors?
Blue.
Okay.
So and you got it as red.
Yes. So like certain shit. Like,
so they'd probably be like, think that's disrespectful.
I think they would be like, well, I know that's supposed to be blue.
How many people walk around with a red bandana tattooed on them?
Yeah.
That many people.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you're at.
So even if he went dressed and he's got the blue,
even if I'm just wearing a Wrangler t-shirt
mm-hmm.
and a pair of black shorts,
and then they see that,
yep.
They're automatically gonna be like, man, like,
who are you? Like, what's that shit right there?
Same thing with like MOB is always like associated with more. Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
I don't know.
What does MOB mean?
It can mean a couple things.
What does it mean to you?
To me, when I got the tattoo, I got it for money over bitches.
What does that mean?
That means I'm gonna chase money before I chase women. But I was also
money over bitches.
Same meaning?
It's literally over a bitch's name.
Yeah. See, mine ain't cover up. This was my first tattoo. I was just young, and I did feel like I even had.
I probably chased the female over money. No, I'm just playing.
Well, I even had a baby mama at the time, and like people would ask. So they was like, "You would put the money over baby mama?" I was like, "No, you misunderstanding. I said over bitches. My baby mama ain't a bitch. At the time, she wasn't. I wouldn't have called her that. But that's my woman. That's the difference." But like
I said, that's my woman. That's different. But
you, like bitches,
I ain't chasing you. So would you chase your woman? So let's say, because we're saying,
I mean, technically, I'm chasing.
You chase the money. You would chase her over money.
I'm chasing a woman right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like money is important, and I need money, but bad, like in a bad way. But like now that I'm older, I don't believe money is what I thought it was when I was younger. It is not that important to me. I don't give a fuck about money. Like
in a relationship, do you feel like you gotta have financial security?
To an extent, yeah, but also like financial security is such an illusion. you can have $100 million in the bank, and then the dollar crashes tomorrow. You have 100 million pieces of cotton in that bank that mean nothing. So like financial security.
Do you think you gotta have it to stay together in a relationship?
Do you have to have money?
Yeah.
No, bro. I mean, we got somebody out here in the parking lot living in a van that's dating.
To survive.
Yeah, but
you gotta have food and water and stuff like that.
In that aspect, yes, but no, I don't think you.
Do you think people stay together?
I know for sure. Matter of fact, the girl that I'm talking to, it is not.
Is she like? Let's say like you'll be like, I can't not be with you because I can't afford it.
Can't not be with
like
you.
So yeah, so y'all break, so y'all have to stay together. So it's like y'all have to stay together because y'all can't afford not to be together.
Oh well, no, because if that was the case, then I wouldn't have. Like, I mean, we would split it up regardless. But like, if it was all about financials, it was way easier together. But like, the girl I'm talking to now, like, she's like, I've never dated for money. I don't give a fuck about how much money you got, and like that's.
Until you become a millionaire, and she's like, "Oh, nah."
Well, do you keep your money separate then? In a relationship,
right now, yeah. Oh, in a relationship,
yeah.
I don't see why you would. To be real,
we do.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with it.
We do.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with
it.
But
a lot of people
also,
think that's weird. Though,
no.
Split your bills. Like it's not really you keep what you earn, but y'all pay your bills together.
Yeah.
I don't see it as weird, especially if y'all have sat down and been like, hey, we can either put it all together and just have like one bank account, or like you can have yours, I'll have mine. We'll still split whatever. It's just whatever works for y'all.
Yeah, but a lot of like the older generation.
They don't get it.
That they don't have a joint account and just pile all our money together. And I'm like,
now I wouldn't be against y'all having a joint account and then like y'all slowly putting money into that and that just kind of being like y'all's.
Well, all the accounts are in my name.
We'll see. You fucked.
Yeah.
You fucked,
so
bro.
What happens? She could
you gotta move out, bro. You don't even gotta fucking. You ain't gotta no proof you've been
paying bills. Thanks a lot for putting that out there. No, just playing.
I mean, you look at the older generations though. They're looking at like these men went to work every day. On Friday, they came home. Here's my paycheck.
Yeah.
They're not going to the bank. Yeah. That was your job.
Yep.
They brought you the money. You do the rest.
Cell phone now. That's my bank.
No, I don't see. If let's say me and the person I'm talking to was in a relationship, I would have no problem being like, because I don't. For one, I don't trust banks. I don't like banks. But if she was to be like, hey, you want to put your check into my thing, like, and it'd be easier, I'd be like, cool, and I would trust her completely with like, yeah, bro, I would. It's weird to say because we're not together, but I trust her with a lot of shit.
Would you, Archie? Do you trust giving your paycheck to a woman and saying like, all right, yeah, here you go. I trust you to put it into a bank account, pay my bills.
I mean, the right woman, yeah. You, if you plan on being with somebody, you have to have that kind of trust.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why are you going to be with this person?
You say you would too, Wes?
Okay. Why would I not? Like, if I don't.
Like I said, the older generation, they're like, man, that's crazy.
Well,
like y'all got the same bank account.
No, they look at it the opposite. They think it's weird that y'all don't have the same bank account.
Yeah.
The older generation does.
They told you that? People tell you?
Yeah, I've had multiple people tell me that.
Well, that's because the older generation did that. For one, the wife didn't have income back in the day. So, like, everything was just one thing. It wasn't like, well, I got my money, you got yours. It was, how much money do we have? And
Yeah.
And I do see it as a positive because once you take away mine and yours and you look at everything as we, but y'all are able to do it even though y'all keep it separate. So that's what I'm saying. I think y'all are doing what is best for y'all. And that's how you should do it.
She has access to
She do. She
got access to all the finances.
She do. She got
I
access
do the taxes.
to mine.
I make sure everything's paid on time. That's why I have access to everything. And he has access to his account.
If something happened, like
he
she could be
have
like,
access to my account.
And I'd be like, where the fuck my money go? I don't know where it went, and I can't get it back. What do you think about that?
But another thing is like, do you all have anything just in case something happened to the other?
I
You could access his account, or he could access yours.
Are y'all like?
You better get my phone.
Are y'all listed as like
transfer.
a beneficiary or anything like type thing?
I don't know if on the account necessarily.
Yeah, I would recommend y'all do that shit because that's important.
But that's why you gotta get my phone and transfer all the money to your account. Although that's gonna seem
it's still on her. It's still on her.
Something happened to you.
The day she died, all this money went to this account.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna even lie. If something was to happen to her today, I would be like, oh shit, like I don't know how she was paying this. I don't know how she was paying that. Like I don't know like her passwords to this. Like I don't. So I'd be like,
to make you feel helpless in a way.
Yeah.
But does it also make you feel comfort in a way to know like she's got it, and as long as you take care of your part, like she's handling it.
Yeah. So, but I asked though, I'd be like, hey man, like you pay this, you pay that.
So would you give up the comfort?
I trust it. Sometimes I just be like when the money goes into my bank account, and I even told her that too. Like when it goes into my bank account, I'll literally be like 5 minutes. I'll be like, you already take the money out, and then she'd be like, yeah, and I'll be like, dang, bro. Yeah. And then she'd be like, yeah, this is for the bills and stuff, and this is what you got left. And I'd just be like, all right, cool. And I don't even know if she paid it, but the bills get paid. But so in reality, this is crazy. This is why I trust her. I don't know if I told y'all this before, and she knows this, and I appreciate her for doing this. So for the longest, she was doing that. Like checks are coming to my bank account. I'll say how much are the bills, and then she'll say it's this much, and I'll be like, all right, okay, go ahead and get it. How much do I have left? And she'll tell me. So for the long, you probably know what I'm gonna say.
Basically managing your finances.
So long story short, I forgot how it came up or whatever, but like she was like, I was like, dang man, I ain't really got like a lot left or whatever, and then she was like, oh, you got a little bit, and I was like, huh? And I was like, I'm looking into my account like this is what I got or whatever, and she was like, oh no, you got more than that. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like
she was taking money out of it and like putting it into like a savings account. And I didn't know nothing about it. And I didn't know it for like a long time.
He had a bad habit of if he had $200-$300, oh, that's a pair of Jordans.
Yeah.
He didn't need another pair of Jordans.
Right. And for the longest I didn't know.
Right.
So like I looked into like, and I was like,
but it's an account that he can't see.
Yeah,
he can access if he needs to, but he can't see it.
And I was like, well, how much I got in there? And she was like, oh, you probably got like 400 or 500 in there. And I was like, what?
Yeah. But that's so. Now, when you found it out, was he trying to like get access to it immediately?
No, that's the only way he can access it is to go to the bank.
Okay. Yeah, but I wouldn't do that anyway. I actually got happy in a way where I was like, okay, yeah, keep doing that.
That's smart.
Like that's what I said. I said, keep doing that.
Bro, I won't lie. I do wish I had a woman to sit and do stuff like that. Bro, I don't care
for the longest.
I don't care if it's $20 at a time, like squirreling it away. I don't give a fuck.
That's what I did.
It'd be so nice.
Small enough that he
and I wouldn't
really
even
notice,
know because I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm probably gonna spend that on like gas or like food or something.
That's
like it was like $5 or $10.
But that's for like if something on his car breaks down.
Yeah,
it ain't like oh damn, how am I gonna fix my car? I'd be
I don't know if you get it, bro. That's real love at its fucking finest.
Well, when she did it, when I first found out,
I taking that money for herself.
Well, I kind of felt like when I first found out, I kind of was like, man, I could have like bought this and this and this with it. But then I was like,
did I need this and this and this?
Yeah. Then I kind of started thinking about it, and I was like, how much did I got in there? And she was like, this and this. She was like, you didn't even know. Like you probably wouldn't even know if you like didn't act because I was like adding stuff up, and I was like, man, I get paid this much.
Yeah,
and I was like, you said like the bills was this much, and I was like, I didn't spend like.
But the fact that she put it away.
Yeah, and then she was like, no, I put it in there for that, and she was like, you can't touch it or whatever unless you like go through me. But she was like, I did that for a reason, and I was like.
If I was y'all too, I would do that same shit, but I would have an account to where each of y'all slowly $10, $5, $20, $50, whatever y'all can, squirrel that shit away, and then like before y'all know it, and like don't tell each other what y'all are putting in. Don't be like, hey, today I'm gonna add, or this week I'm gonna add this much, just wait at the end of the year and see what y'all got, bro, and go take a fucking
She gonna
trip.
run.
That's what we do, though.
Yeah,
Like, we have the checking accounts, and then we both have savings accounts. So I take a little money out of his check after the bills and put into his savings account, and then I put money into my savings account, and then when it comes time for a trip, we use money from both of our accounts.
And now since I know most of the time now, I just be like,
bro, I got finances.
Look at it.
I said I take care of everything.
She take all of it, bro.
Everything.
So I just be like, all right, but just like, I hope we don't get in trouble one day, and then you be like, well, remember all that money that you said you thought you had? I got it.
Here's the thing too, though. Like when women think men want women like to fuck or like to, I want a woman to fucking do this with me and this. That's what we want. We want shit like that. A woman to fuck me is one thing, bro. Any woman could fuck me and not give two fucks about me. For her to like be like, hey, I've been putting a little bit of your money away for you. Like, here it is if you want it, but I'm just letting you know it's there. Like, that's what men really want.
Yeah, that's what draws like me more like to her. It isn't just about like, you know,
a physical
thing, but it's like other things that like she's done to her. I'd be like, yeah, like I really care. Like if it wasn't for that, like I don't know, like
I'm gonna
where
get
I
into
would
it.
have been.
Can you do the next episode?
What do you mean?
On the 11th, you work?
Is that next weekend?
Yeah.
I have to work every other weekend.
I want her to be with, because I'm gonna bring up the whole having a spouse support, like your, not just your job, but like your dream, your passion, how important that is, and I'm gonna go over it with Goon and
Like since we got together, like every show she was there.
I know.
Cameras and stuff, like you know, like
it don't matter if she was mad, her face was just like
she'd be like,
she's still getting the footage though. Like,
bro, there's been plenty of times I did not want to. That's not my scene to begin with.
I know, it ain't mine
either.
And
all that.
So,
that's
remember
not
when we went to Fayetteville?
Oh yeah, is that the night we did those shots?
Yep. I did not want to be in that motherfucker.
Oh, them shots were good though.
They
that made it better.
But like, I didn't want to be there. And there wasn't even a lot of people there, but I just didn't like. I don't know. It was off. I don't like. Yeah.
All right. Well, we ain't got that much time, but
we got 20 minutes.
Got 20 minutes. Is there anything y'all want to go over?
Got much. Sigoon coming up on the next episode. His girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure.
They're married.
Okay, so his wife will be on. She's an artist too, so we're going to get into all that on the next episode. Hopefully we can reschedule this episode that was supposed to be today. Go a little bit deeper into the religion topic and get an outside point of view, because us all in the room, I think, kind of think the same way when it comes to it. I do want like some pushback on that, but other than that, I ain't got much. That's it. Anybody?
Good.
All right, that's 50-50, episode 6. We out.